This podcast contains offensive language. You have been warned, fuckers.
This is your fault. I'm going to kill you. And all the cake is gone. You don't even care, do you?
Welcome to Get Plugged. I am John Benson. Sitting with me is, over across from me in the Oklahoma City jersey,
My name is Eric Osborne. Hey people, how y'all doing?
and to my left is,
You've already forgotten me. It's been that long.
no, this is Sean Ferguson.
No, it's cool. I get it. I get it.
I mean,
So I'm Sean Ferguson, who is not John Benson's best friend anymore.
not at all.
And how you doing? And of course, Wes Powell is on a cruise. Wes, we hate you. Fuck you. Go die.
I hope those dolphins you swim with give you a reason to fear them as well.
Is he swimming with dolphins? Actually swimming with dolphins?
I hope they
Let's
give you
talk about
herpes.
Dolphin herpes.
Wow, that'd be fun. I'd like to swim with a dolphin.
Is there a cure for dolphin herpes? In
I don't
case
think there's a
Wes
cure for
comes
any
back
herpes.
with dolphin herpes.
No, that's
Okay.
what he gets.
I'm sure there's some Buffy-esque cure to the...
Guys, we've got an opening on the podcast due to dolphin herpes. Unless Wes gets a bubble.
Yep. Well, what topics do you guys want to hit this week?
Well, I just bought, what's it called? State of Decay. Bought it
I was going to
yesterday.
ask about that one. It's getting good reviews.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I've already put like 10 hours into it, and it's like a zombie RPG, and it's really refreshing.
Is it a top-down shooter kind of
No,
game?
no, no. It's third person,
Oh, okay.
and I mean it's it's an XBLA title, but I mean I would pay close to $60 for it. I mean if I did, I would feel a little cheated.
How much was it?
20.
So you're gonna buy it again when Xbox One comes out. So it'll be like you
If I
almost
wanted
paid
to play it on
$60
that one,
for it.
why would I do that when I could just play my 360?
That's true. Well, that's what they told the military they had to do.
Well, it scored a 78 on
Thanks,
Metacritic,
troops.
a very, very respectable score on Metacritic. 78 out of 100. IGN gave it an 89. I think Joystick gave it a 70. Did you guys see what GameSpot gave it by chance?
Nope.
Yeah, I
Does
think
anyone
it was.
check GameSpot?
I do. I have a.
Oh.
I used to follow that site. I don't know what happened.
Well,
Metacritic.
this is getting really, really nerdy. I bought Electronic Gaming Monthly every single month for about 21 years, and so I have stacks of every issue from like 22 up.
Wow.
Until it went defunct about 2 years ago. I loved it, and GameSpot used to be the sister publication to that magazine.
Right.
And so I still have a soft spot for it, but it has gone down the tubes pretty hardcore.
I used to be a Game Informer guy.
You're a GI guy always, huh?
I was for a
Yeah.
while.
Do you remember Next Gen?
Mmm.
So you really are a nerd,
Wow. Yeah.
man. I
That's,
love that magazine.
yeah. What happened to that mag?
Ironically, Next Gen was owned by the people that run IGN now.
Oh.
And when they sold out their magazine division, a lot of the PSM magazine went away, Next Gen went away,
Mhm.
and so you were basically left with the worst of all. What was the Game Pro?
Oh,
Oh
A
yeah.
terrible rag.
Game Pro.
But and this is getting really, really, really nerdy. But in terms of video game journalism, EGM was the best for like 20 years, and that's why I always check GameSpot because a lot of the same people.
you
I
know, like
gotcha.
Game Informer hasn't gone away. It's just digital now.
It's the
Well, it must-
world's
yeah.
best-selling digital or best-selling print video game publication in the world right now.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, do people still read? Like, I guess younger people might that for some reason don't have access
to an iPad or
to
whatever,
an iPad or whatever.
or a website.
I can't imagine reading print.
It's a monthly publication, and
Hubs.
I mean, you're getting news. It's a month older, and
Mhm.
I mean, I don't like to digest my information all in one magazine to begin with. Like, I like it in in real time. Like IGN is covering things as they happen.
hmm
So
And you're not alone. If you, for guys who used to read newspaper out there, the Chicago Tribune just fired. This is according to a story I read on Yahoo News 3 days ago. Just fired its entire photography
Yeah.
staff. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I
Wow.
Which is really, really impressive because you're talking about one of the oldest running, most legendary publications in North America. Just fired their entire photography staff and said, everybody who's a journalist, you want to keep your job, take pictures with your iPhone. Those are our new photos. So it's a pretty impressive time to be in the print
That's
business.
retarded.
Yeah,
did. Actually, it's less retarded than you think.
I don't know. It's a different skill set.
I think that freelance photographers are always going to have a job because people are going to buy those photos for certain things.
Mhm.
But I think they're trying to change the perception that journalists are arriving on the scene after it's been the news has been broken on
Mhm.
Twitter. So they're trying to be like, hey, listen,
Faster,
you're
faster.
going to cover it, you're going to get it, and we're going to get news right away.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get pictures right away. That's your iPhone. You know,
Mm-hmm.
journalists aren't going to look around real equipment.
It's true.
Makes me feel like, like the criticism of the quality of journalism is just dying. Like
It's getting
great.
highly diminished. It's more about speed and convenience than quality or even accuracy.
I mean, Reddit and Twitter are already making dinosaurs out of, CNN because it blows up and then goes away and then blows
I
up.
like
and
when
goes away.
CNN covers things and they're like, "Here's our Twitter feed about it. So and so says this." Like the news they're reporting is Twitter.
Oh, it's true. They're
Yeah.
taking the Twitter feed and actually giving it to you as if you weren't sophisticated enough to do it on your own time.
Which is, and I think that's what's the difference is that we loop this back weirdly to video game journalism as opposed to mainstream journalism. Video game journalism utilizes Twitter as a method of garnering feedback or kind of getting a feel for the population's take on something instead of using it as hard news, whereas I feel mainstream journalism is misinterpreting Twitter and trying to use it as the
As
story.
the initial source and stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
which is kind of silly.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do whenever someone breaks a story that isn't you? I mean,
Right. You're going to stand on camera and be like,
we're still waiting for
misquoting until Anderson Cooper gets sent down from CNN, the Mount Olympus of CNN, to be like, all right, guys, journalism 101
Yep.
on camera, which is super embarrassing. But as far as electronic stuff lately, I've been reading the Penny Arcade Report. I mean, it's just been kind of crazy.
Because it's fantastic.
Watching for the last 2-3 years as they've kind of blown up off of just being a webcomic to offering a lot more beyond that. I don't really watch the TV stuff as much, but Ben Kuchera, I believe,
that's right.
is the editor
That's
at
how I say
PA Report, and I don't agree with everything he says, but I like the thought he puts into everything that he writes about, which is
It's
good.
pure editorializing, but it's well thought out and he's well spoken.
Well, you know, the
Which
thing
that's
about-
something, but you can't really get on Twitter because it's too concise.
The thing about like video game reviews and journalism is you don't have to like traditional journalism of world news and whatever. It's more about your writing voice and your personality that people seek after for your game review. Like, I like this guy and his tone of things, his taste in games. So like, I will trust his review.
There's a trade-off, though. I think the trade-off is that while, okay, for example, if you're not a fan of so-and-so's review, you can completely disregard it, but it makes the whole idea of Rolling Stone's 5-star review gets highly diminished because who wrote that review? It's no longer the banner
True.
point of like this magazine, this highly regarded publication or website gave it a good review. Well, it's just old Colin Moriarty or it's just Peter Travis.
It also depends on the trust factor kind of comes into that because there's been a lot of over the last couple of years. Now, I don't want to call it controversy, but they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar. When they've been told this is the score you need to give out. Or you're not
There's
getting
been a
this.
precedent. I've not seen anything.
There's been a
about
couple of those kind of pop out, like you won't get access if you give us a bad score or
that. Oh, the Konami stuff.
whatnot. Mhm.
Yeah, I've
and
heard
then
about that.
some sites have given in, and then other game publishers have obviously been like, we want the score, and PA or PvP Online or other webcomics have picked up and made fun of it, and it's kind of died out. But they struggled with credibility. That's when I made the switch to Metacritic from IGN because it felt like IGN. I don't know. I'd play a game that was at least a 7, and they'd be giving it a 3.
We kind of saw the flip side of that with Bioshock Infinite. Like the story was so fresh and original that all the initial reviews, like coming straight out of the gate and without
glowing.
Yeah, everything was just 10s across the board. And then finally, like time went by, people had enough time to properly digest it, and then it was like, maybe this doesn't deserve a 10. Like some parts were a little clunky or whatever, but Yeah.
But the
I know
ambition
what you
was
mean.
there. I think people grade on ambition a lot.
I think on AAA titles, it is 100%. It's ambition. It's how ambitious, how much did you push the envelope. In some cases, that blows back early on,
Sure.
like with Tomb Raider, which is what I'm playing now. I just picked it up.
I'm glad I'm not played it yet. I'm glad
Yeah.
all the
I loved
hubbub is finished over. I'm
Yeah.
ready to go play an Arkham City style game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's Arkham City outdoors.
It
in the
sounds
jungle.
awesome.
And I'm enjoying it. But that kind of ambition, trying to redefine the main character through these traumatic circumstances, and then how they had to deal with that PR debacle. Like, so far, nothing from that has leaked into the experience I've played so far.
Good.
It's been great. So,
Good.
But then you get other games like Mass Effect that try and really build this whole universe and just get browbeat in the first 12 hours.
Yeah, the first 12 hours.
I
Exactly.
mean, it wasn't. I mean, how do you beat that game in 12 hours?
I never played any of them, so I don't know.
You missed.
so
You're an
good.
Xbox guy. You never played it.
No, I just don't like RPGs. Like where there's so much just talking, and
I'll give you
influencing
that.
people's-
Tomb Raider's a little cinematic up front, but it's action after a while. But
Okay. Okay.
I'll give you if you don't like the RPG talkiness.
So you weren't a Fable fan, I guess.
Oh, I love Fable though.
But it's an action RPG.
Yeah, but you have ghost arrows in that. Come on.
Well, I mean, the talking does amount to and like you're doing expressions like.
Since we were talking about ambition and a refreshing take on things, that's exactly what State of Decay is. You start out as like your whole little small open world is like I think it feels like Colorado or somewhere mountainous, but it's like two dudes coming back from a fishing trip, so they've been out of the loop, connected to society, and they don't know what's been happening, but like they come back 3 weeks after their fishing trip, and the whole world's gone to hell, and it's a zombie apocalypse.
I love that.
And like, there's permadeath in this game where yeah, it's great. Like, it's not about a narrative of those two characters at all. It's just about the survival of your group. So like one of those first two guys you start with, one of them's dead for me. Like, he got pulled into like several pieces by this huge zombie, and it was really shocking. So it's like he's dead, switching to a character, and it goes to someone else, and back at the church where everyone's hiding, and you just start picking up from there, and you keep playing. But like it's not about the survival of
Oh
them
my
at all.
gosh.
So I've had like 2 people die so far, but it really sucks
So
when they die.
the point is to beat the game, not to get people through it alive.
No, the point is to get the
But not
group
your
through
character.
it. Yeah, not necessarily any one person.
Oh,
But the objective throughout the game is to keep your group alive. So you'll go out into the town to get food, ammo, medical supplies, fuel, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. But as you're going out and like searching all these houses and stuff for supplies, like you've got over the radio your person back at the church, and they're like, so and so is in trouble and needs you to come back and deal with that. So like you get pulled aside from doing whatever you were, and you'll go back to the church and people are having a fight. You have to take like one from the side.
typical management.
It's crazy.
You can't ever get your
It's so
shit done
stressful.
because you got employees that just want to fight.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
ugh.
So like before you can get along with like what you wanted to do, you have to take care of 3 things that
Bullshit.
pop up along the way.
And you don't like RPGs?
No, but only because of all of the dialogue sequences where you just stand
Okay,
there and
well, I have a question
conversation,
for you then.
and you make a choice.
Because you are playing an RPG.
Yeah, this sounds a lot like an RPG.
No, I like the mechanics of like Mass Effect.
Okay.
Or,
I'm getting diverted to
Knights of
take
the
care
Old
of somebody
Republic.
else's shit before I can take care of my main
But there's
quest
not a lot
shit.
standing there and just making like, do I choose the bad dialogue or the good dialogue?
Always the bad.
Really?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're like him, just always the bad. Just never.
I couldn't do
skip
that.
through it.
Oh, that reminds me. Fable is being remastered.
The HD remastered,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm so excited. Fable 1
We'll
was like the
see.
only one I liked.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
what?
see.
What?
And
Basically, what you described to me sounds like kind of a next gen version of the Oregon Trail. Have you played the Oregon Trail? It was
dysentery.
I think we all grew. Well, he may be.
no, not the
I know,
Oregon
I-
Trail. The Oregon Trail.
No.
Okay, so it debuted at PAX, and I bought it. It's on Steam. It's like a Greenlight game or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
It's called the Oregon.
ORGAN?
Yes, it's called the Oregon Trail, and
That's
you are
awesome.
you are one of the last humans on Earth, and you are trying to get from I believe Baltimore, which is about to be nuked by the government, all the way over to like Seattle. So you got to traverse the country in your crappy station wagon, get a party of survivors together. It's the same graphics as the Oregon Trail. You have to hunt for food, gather batteries,
This is
fuel.
hilarious.
You got to take like axles and tires and shit for your station wagon, and if people get infected, you have to kill them.
That is awesome.
That's
That's happened in State of Decay.
it was like
Yeah.
$4 or $5, and it's the most fun I've had all week. Honestly, is playing the Oregon Trail. Like it's that old like 4-bit color. It's not even
Green
8-bit.
color,
It's
yeah.
4-bit.
Yeah.
Full color. It's glorious. You should check it out.
Well, okay. Well, wouldn't that be a better portable experience than a Steam experience?
It actually is on iPad.
Oh, it is?
It is on iPad. It is on Xbox
iOS.
Live.
Okay.
It's on iOS. I just bought it because I was sitting at my Mac and I was like, God, what's on Steam? And I started looking through and I was like, oh my God. The Oregon Trail. And they've got a native resolution for 2560, so...
For 4-bit graphics.
So I can play it
I mean,
huge.
It's basically all vector, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, and the best part is like you can take little jobs from town to town from survivors. So like it's just like the old ones. So you have to click your mouse and like hold down and like fire and your one bullet. And
I think a better way
Yeah.
to look at State of Decay is it's a small Grand Theft Auto, but zombies.
nice.
So I mean that's how it feels more to me. But there is like a management system of an RPG of taking care of your party, getting resources up. You do this action so many times, you'll get special abilities and whatever. So I mean it has those.
Are there
mechanics.
bikers in State of Decay?
No,
Zombie
that'd be awesome.
Oregon Trail, man. You can instead of fording rivers, you ford through crowds of zombies. So you have to wait till they're docile.
That's great.
And instead of like when you take the little stream in Oregon Trail and you have to avoid stuff, in this it's the road and you have to ram into bikers that are trying to like steal your shit.
That sounds kind of fun.
I want to play State of Decay, but I think you should check out Oregon Trail and we can like compare notes
All right, we'll swap.
because I think that I like RPGs and I like the idea of having to kind of
State of Decay looked like a blast. I
Yeah.
think it's their timing for State of Decay. We would be talking about it a whole lot more, except for the bomb that's going to be dropped next week. One of the highest rated games in the history of Metacritic comes out next Friday.
The week of E3, a game's coming out.
Yeah, the week of E3, the last.
Not
of
just the week
Us.
of E3. Next Friday,
Yeah.
Man of Steel opens that day.
Are you shitting me? It's the same day.
June 14th. Yeah.
This is gonna be a good weekend for me.
It's a hot weekend. I'm gonna watch Man of Steel like 8 times
My God.
and play whatever you're about to tell me.
The Last of Us,
Comes
out.
I'm not gonna
Yet?
play that.
huh?
It's not out yet.
Not yet. It got 10 or 27 10 scores on Metacritic. It's the most I've ever seen on Metacritic.
That's almost a perfect score in bowling.
Yes.
That's 270.
Yeah, right. Dang, you're right. But I was really surprised. I knew it was going to score high. Naughty Dog doesn't make garbage. It's not their MO. But I just did not anticipate 27 10s for that. In fact, Major Nelson from the Microsoft side actually congratulated Naughty Dog publicly, stating that nice work, guys. And so I'm very, very excited to get my hands on that one.
You think it might be overhyped like Infinite, or
Here's the thing. Infinite delivered on everything I liked about that game. I did not feel cheated at all by that game. People played it, it's like, this is a 10, really? I think that it's definitely going to fall into that trap because it's following a lot of the framework of the Uncharted series, which is a really good gameplay, really solid. It's not perfect. I think that the atmosphere, story, the narrative, and even the length of the game has really impressed people. So we're talking about a game
How long
that's
does it
ranging
run?
from 12 to 20 hours, depending on how you
Wow.
play. So
I think as long as the world is deep, it feels real. Like the world, like people are reacting appropriately. The vistas are stunning in their decay and their awful apocalypticness. I think it'll do well.
With Infinite, I was supremely impressed by the atmospheric narrative, where you could walk through the game, walk into a room, and completely be devoid of interest in anything on the table. But if you spent 2-3 minutes walking around, looking for those record player things
Mhm.
and listen to the story, or looking at the knocked over bottles, or looking at the paintings on the wall. This room that you're in can actually tell a story. The Last of Us has been praised by reviewers across the board for that very same thing, the environmental narrative where you can go into a room, something's happening, it's interesting. Don't rush through this game because there's more stories being told than just the main narrative. And that really, really excites me. That game is probably going to overshadow everything being on the market, which is impressive considering next week is E3. Are you guys have any predictions for E3? Being the media moguls that we are?
I think that Xbox will come out and continue to put their foot in their mouth. I think Sony.
I don't think they're changing. I don't think they're changing.
They're not. IGN released a new thing in which Xbox answered a bunch of questions.
Did they talk about the Always Online? And
they were
kind of stuff?
asked specifically how are military personnel going to deal with it has to be online at least once a day or you can't play games.
They're off the table. They're done.
And they said military personnel should just stick with the 360. So to me, that says you're shutting off a huge component of your audience at that point.
Not to be a dick, but doesn't it kind of seem? Again, I think I said this earlier, but like a first world problem in a third world country, where like you're in the military,
but
you're in a harsh environment. Like video games should not. Be,
okay,
like,
forget the military for a moment.
Right.
Let's go to southeast
market.
Oklahoma,
right.
where it's a 15,000 people town in Durant, where broadband is not readily available.
Right.
A 15,000 person town on the Texas border in Oklahoma, they do not have broadband readily accessible to all the people.
How many
right
of those
now.
15,000 people you think are playing video games?
A whole bunch
No
of
idea.
between the methamphetamines and getting pregnant at 16, they've got a lot of free time.
Right. Maybe they're doing both. My thing though is you can say that it's a first world problem in a third world country, but it's a first world company making a first world product for first world customers. Yes, people from other countries buy the Xbox, but when your company is built on selling to a specific,
then you market it with first world standards.
Well, I would say that
internet connection.
just to make an analogous comparison, you buy an iPhone, and you can't always use it when you leave the country, but the phone still works to play music.
Correct.
It still works to play games. It still works to take pictures.
And that's the thing is that if you don't connect once a day, it shuts off the functionality to play games.
Yeah, it will not let you play games.
That's a problem.
It's ballsy. I give them credit for like, hey, you know what?
I mean, it's their
Do it right away
product.
in the
Sony still is pretty tight-lipped. Their
Yeah.
CEO actually came out on Twitter and said that Xbox was basically the ultimate paranoid girlfriend, which I thought was really dumb on their part because they're already
they're gonna do the same thing.
they're just gonna alienate girl gamers before they even get out the gate. But I don't know. To me, I have a lot of friends in the military. I appreciate what they do, and they're not always abroad. Sometimes they're home here. But when you are like overseas, sometimes it's having those comforts from home that make the job bearable when you're gone from your family for 4 or 5 years, and you're seeing them like a month out of the year. So.
Well,
me,
I wonder though. Your military friends. I know you're speaking on behalf of people that aren't present. Okay, are they concerned about their achievements? Are they concerned about their gamer score?
I have no
Or
idea.
it's blown off steam.
Then they're going to jump ship to the Sony platform. They're going to do it.
Probably.
Because like, well, if I'm playing my Call of Duty and my bro shooters, I'll just go to the company.
I mean, what I've enjoyed is the
the
ability to play with my friends who are overseas when they can log on. As long as I stay on 360, they may stay on 360 and we can play together.
Sure.
If they jump, though, I don't know. Like, maybe I will.
Do you see Microsoft supporting 360 after this year? 'Cause I don't.
I think they will based on PR or they'll change. Because they're still having to battle everyone's outrage over you can't loan games to your friends.
Oh, you can do it. You can loan games to your friends.
Not in the
For
Xbox
$60.
One. Right, for $60. Here you go, dude.
Borrow this and pay for it.
I think they're going to have a huge PR uphill battle to fight at E3.
These all seem like software issues that need to be patched.
Well, if I understand
There's too
correctly,
much-
The hardware has
the way
changed,
they're
too.
approaching it is Microsoft's not saying you can't trade games. We're letting the publishers decide.
No, they've said that it's not implemented right now that you can loan games to your friends, but maybe in the future they'll consider it.
That's
That's what they just said on the IGN thing.
Well, I mean,
Ballsy.
for guys like us, we pretty much buy what we want. It's
Yeah.
not going to affect us. But I remember being 16 and really, really wanting to play Resident Evil.
Well, I still loan game to people though. Like
Me too.
When Arkham City
When
came
you can
out,
help it,
my friend wanted to play Arkham Asylum, and I was like, "Well, just borrow my
Buy
game."
my copy.
I know it's $30 at the time, but it was like $30 is $30. Just play it,
Me too. I did the
give
same
it
thing.
back. You know, I don't always want to buy a game if I don't like it, but
Well, this would be the last thing I talk about that pricing issue because I've talked to a lot of my friends and I've been like a shill for like buying the PlayStation or buying an Xbox because there's so many great games on this platform and they're getting to the point where they can be your multimedia hub. They're upgradable to the point where you can watch your Netflix and play your games. And so I got my dad to get one. I got my buddies to buy some. And my friend Michael, who's a terribly talented auto engineer, and he and I are working together on some music stuff, and he's already integrated into the Apple culture of buying games. He's already into the mobile culture. And so the idea of him paying $60 for a video game is preposterous. He's either buying it used, or he's buying it cheap, or he's downloading it from the PlayStation Network. That's how he gets his stuff now.
right.
The idea, like when he got Infamous, like, oh, this is the best game I've ever played. Like, yeah, Infamous is awesome. He goes, how much does the sequel cost? $60. He goes, well, I'm not paying that. And so there's a social precedence for people that are not hardcore guys like you and I, where $60 is just not going to happen. And if that used game market dries up, which it's going to inevitably, then they're either going to have to find a way to model a free-to-play thing where they can download episodically, or they're going to have to just find a way to just take the middlemen out.
Well,
no Walmart, no
I've
Best
been
Buy,
waiting
sell
though.
it
Like
straight
I've
increase the
stopped
price.
buying games at launch that I'm not supremely passionate about,
Mhm.
and I wait. I mean, I waited on Mass Effect 3 for months. I mean, it was $20 when I bought it. Well, I mean, I was midway through my playthrough. My
I'm
second
surprised you could
playthrough
wait that
on
long
2.
with a furor online over that game.
I was, yeah. I mean, I saw the fear and I was like, oh man, no, I'm just gonna wait. But to me, I would rather wait and pay $20 or $30.
Did you wait until they did the patch?
Well, it's out. Yeah, it is out now,
Yeah.
obviously, and I did wait. Like Batman Arkham Origins. I'm getting that launch day.
Okay.
Fuck everyone. I don't care. That Rocksteady's not doing. It's going to be a really fun game. I don't play it because the story's so deep.
Oh
I
yeah.
play it because I'm Batman and I get to kick ass. Like that's why I play this game. So I'm excited about that. But like Assassin's Creed 3, I didn't buy that at launch. I bought it when it dropped to like $30 on Amazon on special.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So
And there's some games that I've got on my my guilty pleasure list, like the Army of Two, Third Day or whatever. I'm gonna pick that one up, and it's stupid, but I'll pick it up for $20.
actually,
absolutely.
two of my friends, one of which is military, and one of my other friends who's here, just finished the third Army of Two, and they said it was one of the best co-op
It's a blast.
bro
It's so
shooters
much.
they've ever played.
It's so much fun. It's going right up against the Gears of War stuff, but it doesn't take itself so serious.
Right.
It does not, and
They
the
did-
mechanics are really solid.
Had like 43 chapters though,
That's a lot.
which made me want to crap my pants. I was like, that's a lot of storytelling for a bro shooter. I think I'm out on 43 chapters.
Yeah,
Hundreds
no
of
kidding.
Dude, yeah. So, my prediction is that Xbox is going to have PR nightmare to cover up for. Sony is going to be pretty tight-lipped and maybe leak a couple of features, but they're going to wait and see what everyone gripes about for Xbox. And I think Nintendo's just going to come out with the same old dog and pony show.
Yep.
We're going to promise a bunch of stuff that we can't do. That no one
Smash
cares
Brothers
about.
is the game. We
But-
own the IP too. Thank you guys. See y'all later.
Yeah, here you go. Zelda, Smash Brothers, Mario.
Nintendo's not even having a conference this year.
Nope.
They're doing,
Really?
What's it called Nintendo Direct.
Pre-conference, yeah. They're doing the Apple thing where they're like, we're going to go across the street, hold our own conference. See you guys later.
Well, they're
They're
also
They're
not
controlling
even
the message
showing
completely.
games, at E3. Well, they are, but they're doing this this really stupid idea where they're going to have games as of E3 playable at Best Buys across the country.
Oh, yeah, the kiosk
Where you
thing.
can-
Oh, I thought that was really cool. You don't think that's neat?
It's a terrible idea because they don't control the environment. They don't control the presentation and the point of view of the people getting this first impression of the game. Like, what if it's a shitty Best Buy and like it's tucked away in some corner and it's just like
Maybe, but I'm not
Here
going to
you
E3.
go.
I think it's an awesome opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity. I wish if that's something that Best Buy, if they did more of, they'd have a better chance of survival because that person being present experience is something you can't replicate on Amazon.com. You can't replicate that on, you
Well,
know.
just the thing
I
about
don't want
E3
it,
is
though.
that it's all
You don't want it?
I don't like talking
You don't-
to people. Not when I'm buying something, because all you're doing is giving me a line of bullshit. Like, and to back up what John's saying, if I go to Best Buy, because I used to work at game retail years and years and years
Which
ago.
one?
EB, when it was still
Oh,
They're
around.
required to
boutique?
be approached by some sales rep. who's
Yeah, and they're gonna-
stationed in that area.
They're going to shill it for you. They're just going to go, oh, well, do you need this because it's got all these features? No, I don't. I just want to try this game out. But you need this because of this. Or they give you some line of bullshit that they've been told to push.
Leave
and
me alone.
leave me alone. Let me make up my mind.
Whereas, like, if they would present it all, nice and sparkly with a bow on top at E3, where it's this grand reveal, I think it would, like, it's the exclusivity of the feeling of E3 of, like, something comes out that the general public is not there to get an impression of it, so they have, the company has a better control over what is the first impression that's being received of this game.
So like 360 did.
And there's proper game reviewers there who are, checking these games out first so they can give you a sparkling opinion about it. I don't know. Nintendo, I don't know what they're doing. But for Microsoft, their conference is planning to be 90 minutes of games. Nothing else. Just games.
Okay,
So it's gonna
that
be
sounds
one
compelling.
humongous software.
Well,
title.
I mean, that's the
It's
argument they've
awesome.
got to win is our shit's compelling enough for you to make the jump.
I saw a leak of it was like what is it? Like a black foam core board. Oh no, that's not. It was,
That's
it was
just
on-
top secret. It's on black phone cord.
Oh,
No, I
seriously.
mean what it looked
Mounted,
like
spray mount.
was like
Oh,
a bunch of
Vacuum mount.
of IPs in a grid against a black background. So I just think foam core, but whenever you mount your projects to something. But no, it was on.
We're not designers at all.
It was a photo taken of a screen from some I guess closed door press conference of titles that are coming up, and it was like Halo 5, Dead Rising 3, a new Banjo Kazooie, which I'm super psyched about. So I
I
mentioned
thought the
that right
banjo
off the bat.
nuts and bolts was awesome. Actually,
Fable
nobody played it
4.
though.
Which one? What?
Fable 4, which
They need it.
I'm surprised.
They gotta have it. If they don't have Fable 4 after HD, they're gonna be in trouble.
There was some talk about a Fable MMO, so I don't know if that's
Okay,
it, or if
I
they're-
could be into that.
It's not
Right.
happening. It's not happening.
I don't know.
Nope.
They got to do something while the iron's
Forza
hot.
5.
The Fable Iron is actually pretty cold right now.
Well, I'm saying the fantasy MMO iron because Blizzard's working on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it got pushed back another year.
Right, but what I'm saying is now is the time if
Oh,
you're going
yeah,
to
there's
announce
nothing.
something, do it before they come out with
True.
their thing. Because once that comes out, goodbye subscribers.
Yes. Goodbye.
Don't try after.
And I think that's really what we're kind of coming back around to. I was super shocked to hear both you guys say that if the Xbox transition isn't as smooth as I want it to be, either I'm just going to jump to Steam or whatever. And I didn't hear either one of you guys say, I'm going to PlayStation. I didn't hear that. Because it's such a PC-centric mentality around a lot of those games that I'm surprised that there's not more people that are engaged in the idea of jumping
I
platforms.
just don't like the controller.
Really?
I really don't like the PlayStation controller.
It's not different enough. It's not.
It is for me. Like with my hands, like having the thumbs here as opposed to having one up here, so it's a natural. I don't have to argue ergonomics with what feels good to me.
Right.
What
Your
feels good to
feelings
me-
and your opinion is wrong. Is what I'm trying
It
to
doesn't
say.
matter.
I'm
My
sorry.
feeling is that the Xbox 360 is a superior controller,
I don't know. I wouldn't argue that. I think it is
Um,
a superior controller. It's better.
and I don't like the way the PS3 handles, and I don't like as far as controller, and I don't like the idea that you have to plug it in to charge it to use it.
That is a bummer.
It is shitty product design. Sony should have not done it. They should have known better. They're supposed to be a worldwide leader in electronics, and that was just stupid. Now, if they fix it for the next generation, I could maybe get over the ergonomic feeling.
Well, hold on. But doesn't the Xbox controller have to be charged as well?
No, you put batteries in it.
But if
Or you
don't-
can have a rechargeable battery pack, but you don't have to plug in a mini USB to your console to charge it.
Yes, you do.
No, I own a 360.
Well, it's right over there. You have to plug a USB right into your Xbox to charge your capacitor.
No,
Or you can
There's
use
two
double
different
A's.
kinds of
You can use double
controllers.
A's.
you can use double A's.
I guess that's a lot about games. Anything else you guys want to hit before we depart to a different aspect of media?
It's been 2 weeks, right? So I'm trying to think back of.
I've been playing Guacamelee. That's really what
Yeah.
I've been playing. So
I tried to play Castle Crashers, but Oregon Trail really
pulled you
sucked
in.
me in. I mean, I even pitched it to my friend that I
It captured
play
your
WoW
heart.
I was like, dude, let's try this Castle Crashers game out. It's multiplayer. We're both on Steam. But then Oregon Trail really just leapt right out and grabbed me.
So to speak.
It did. It stuck its fist right in there and started rooting around in my guts, and it found my heart, clenched it in its cold dead
It's so
hands.
romantic.
Well, you got, and also I'd say you got to give Sony a lot of credit because they're doing a serious push for getting independent developers involved. The next launch of the PlayStation 3,
I would like to see that.
They don't even need a publisher now.
Yeah.
You can literally just put your game.
I mean,
out yourself.
Xbox is trying to
Really
throw up
good
barriers with
utilize.
EA on the indie publishers, making it to where if you're an indie guy and you want to get in the Xbox Live Arcade, you got to go through EA to get published.
Yep.
That is bullshit. That is a roadblock to
And
creativity.
it's completely unnecessary.
Mhm. It is
At this
so,
point, and the thing of it is, I really thought Microsoft was following the Apple model of trying to garner a different demographic with the system, but they're really not.
What
They're doing a
That sentence
Microsoft.
doesn't make any sense. Microsoft following an Apple model.
No. What Microsoft does is they don't follow the model; they follow what they think the trend is because it looks good or it's popular. They don't. It's not the underlying philosophy is completely different. It's the Zune versus the iPod. They were like, oh, MP3 players are hot. Let's make one.
Yeah. There's
But
a cult of personality.
the whole reason that their Zune exists the way it does and the iPod exists the way it does is completely
I
different.
think that's a perfect example to illustrate how I feel about Xbox versus PS3. There isn't a established personality that I like from Sony. Like, they don't set a very good voice for their console.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, this thing does games too, and here's Super Mega Splatbot 7.
Are you
and
fucking kidding me? Are you?
Nope.
They've
It
got
feels like
more exclusives that
they
are
were just
higher
trying to-
rated than any other platform out there right now.
it feels a lot like, okay, Microsoft has this AAA shooter, Halo, so we're going to try and release several
Killzone.
IPs that
Right. Yeah.
contend with it. It's like
Counter-programming.
So they're doing what Microsoft always does to Apple,
Kind of.
where it's like Apple comes out with something, Microsoft has an answer. You know, Xbox comes out with Halo, PlayStation comes
Not
out
to
with
say
Killzone.
that there has not been plenty
Of that on the other
great
side.
original content coming out, like The Last of Us.
Yeah. My goodness.
But I just like the personality more. Maybe
And you're not alone. I think that
it's a good way
the,
to put
the
it.
it's a
smartest
great
thing
way to put it.
Microsoft did, and this is something that I
Fist bump.
appreciated.
I haven't given one out in
Radio.
weeks. Fist bump. Wait.
Pop. Yeah.
You probably couldn't hear that.
I would say that the smartest thing Microsoft ever did was they embraced the internet, but more
Mhm.
rapidly and more vehemently than any Japanese developer or hardware manufacturer in the world. They're
Agreed.
like, this is going to happen. Get on with us, or we're leaving you behind.
Mhm.
And there was that precedent with Sony when they did the network adapter for the PlayStation 2. It's like, well, you can use broadband, you can use Ethernet, whatever, but we can also do 56K, and it was a complete waste of time.
Right.
And by having that fractured ability to get online, they really shot themselves in the foot by just not having a networking service when Xbox One was killing it.
I mean, Xbox Live is the premier online gaming service. I don't think anyone would dispute that.
At this point, no.
And with that point, I
who
feel
knows?
like you can make the same argument for this whole always online thing, where they're not going to screw around.
But it's not going to be a screw up, and in 2 years, no one's going to be talking about
Exactly.
it. And even a year, no one's going to be talking
Yeah,
about it.
and to
You
reiterate my
wanna
other
stay
point,
on
like
get your internet
Blizzard
speed.
does the online thing, and everyone thought it was the end of the world. You know, StarCraft
Mhm.
you always had to be online, Diablo you always had to be online. I understand that it's not the end of the world, and for me, it's not a deal breaker. I'm just for people that I know that are abroad that don't have that access.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
It's a huge deal breaker, and it is a big part of the market because military people have a lot of disposable income, especially when they're looking for ways to entertain themselves.
I mean,
so
you feel like as a loyal consumer that you're kind of getting shit on. about
Yeah.
it.
for me, like I said, it's not. I understand that the online thing. It's a once a day. My Roku is always online. I don't care. Like that's the whole point of it. It's online.
And that's
update.
not a deal breaker for
Apple
you.
TV is always online. It's not
Right.
a deal breaker for me. It just if my friends can't come along for the ride, like that's the
Yeah.
deal breaker.
I think that's a good place for us to take a quick break. We're going to transition from video games to music and movies
Music and comics.
and comics.
I'm
My
getting
God.
old school.
We gotta get to the really nerdy shit.
Mm.
So, well, we'll take a quick break. I'll be right back in just one moment. news source. There was a patent released and verified by Microsoft employees stating that they have set a patent out there for tracking the number of people in a room with the always-on Connect on the Xbox One to monitor how many people are actually observing things like media, such as films and television shows.
Holy shit.
The FBI licensing is you can't have more than 8 or 9 people in a room, or it constitutes a quote-unquote audience viewing, which is illegal. Microsoft will actually be able to patent and track how many people are in your room by using the Kinect.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're saying that I can't have 10 friends over for a Breakfast Club movie marathon?
Technically, by the word of the law, no.
Holy shit, I did not know that.
Yeah.
On top of
That's
Verizon
never
spying
gonna
on you.
fly. That's like this whole Prism thing that's on the news right now. About,
Here's the
you know,
thing. People will trade convenience, or people will trade freedom for convenience at any point.
It's
no one's gonna
we're
come
seeing
knocking
it.
on your door and they're like,
No,
you
no.
10 people
I know
watching
there's
this
not.
movie.
But if they ever like to make an example out of somebody, it is.
I tell you what, I know the way around that. You ready?
Put a
You ready?
cloth over the lens.
No, you guys ready for this? You
Why?
ready?
Ready?
All nude party. Get fat people. I volunteer. I'll take a bullet for the rest of you skinny motherfuckers. You get a group of fat people. I got some friends that are fat too. And we'll watch TV on the Xbox One
All the
completely
skinny
nude.
people have to suck in and show their ribs the whole time.
And you gotta look gross.
Emaciated.
You gotta look gross.
We're talking like Christian Bale. The machine.
Yeah, the machinist.
Like show your spine.
Yeah,
grab
and
your,
then don't
your
shave,
collarbones.
don't bathe. Just look nasty. And
I
then just
thought it was a great
scratch
story, though.
yourself.
I mean,
you know?
I know, and then we're in Oklahoma, to where we'll take our guns, take our freedom, we'll take your ass, kind of thing.
Take my internet viewing television.
Yeah, but I'm not paranoid, a conspiracy theorist. But I thought, man, that really is getting crazy because the Xbox One's Connect has to be on, it has to be connected, or it does not operate without it. And when they patent something like that, sure, their meaning may be innocuous. They may legally be trying to protect themselves. There's no harm in wanting to protect yourself, but
So, but that's like saying if you have a New Year's Eve party and there's 30 people there and you're playing Xbox One and there's a movie playing in the background, or you're playing a game and they're like, oh, that's
by
an
the letter
audience
of the
now.
law, I
Yeah.
think it's 9 people or maybe
That's-
10. But
that is
by the letter of the law, yeah, because
If you're
there's-
a lawyer, can you write in about that?
well, but I know that I work at a school for my
I'm
9
not a
to
lawyer,
5.
but I know about invasion
We
of
can't
privacy.
we can't show like Disney films to students
Mhm.
during class legally.
Well, that's just Disney being a dick.
Well, that's a whole other story. As far as Nazi
Oh, I
sympathizers
got a
go,
story about
really
that.
talented guys.
Um,
But other than that, we're not supposed to show Disney films to kids without a written consent from the company itself to show them whatever film.
My ex-girlfriend, her mom works for KinderCare, which is a chain of daycares, and
The
They
kids
have-
are all mules.
they
They're
feed her
smuggling
candy and let
coke
them
in
play
their
pool.
BB-8s.
Kinder-
Kindercaree.
Like
Gotcha.
Pinocchio, like they slowly turn into mules.
No,
And
more like
donkeys.
you stuff drugs down there.
Or they're up the
Asses.
butts or down the throats.
They walk funny.
Anyway, what I was trying
Where's
to
a
say,
bag? Swallow the bag, please.
they had a Mickey Mouse painted on the wall, and they got a letter from Disney that said
Cease and desist?
Yeah, because they had Mickey Mouse painted on the wall.
You know, but it's
what
not just
mold do
Disney.
they have planted in KinderCare. That's like
Steve Jobs, before he passed on to Valhalla and left Apple behind her brought, was also kind of a dick.
Oh, he was a horrible
Does everyone
man.
remember when those awesome iPhone cases of Steve Jobs trapped in carbonite came out?
I did not know
They were
that.
on sale for about 2 hours before Apple shut that shit down and was
That
like,
sounds
no more.
awesome.
It would have been amazing.
Well, he had a reputation as being quite the slave driver among a lot of the people he worked with.
If I ever become like one of those 800-pound people that are stuck in their bedroom, they just, get bed sores from
Not
lying there all
moving,
day.
have to
Yeah,
cut a hole in your wall to get you out.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
No, hold on, no. I'm gonna get a life-size replica of Han and Carbonite.
When you've given up,
Yeah.
Just to stare
And
at
then
it.
I'm
like
gonna
sex
learn
is
how to
gone
use-
forever.
Yeah.
It's not
My
happening.
penis is gone forever. It's just
Yeah.
lost in there.
It-
in the folds.
We're gonna get the life-size carbonite.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Can we get you a salacious crumb?
You probably did pretty good salacious.
He doesn't make me laugh. Once a day I eat him.
You have a rancor pit.
That's
But it's just like
serious
me.
story, but-
It's just me underneath your bed.
Yeah, wasn't that guy?
That's the monster
And
under
here's
your
something that's
bed,
been
the
bugging me since I
Rancor.
was a kid in Jedi. The Rancor Keeper. Was
Uh-huh.
he wearing like a bikini but with 3 coverings. Is that what that is?
No.
No, you're not. You're mixing two.
You're thinking of
characters
the
together. That's a fat
dancer
stripper.
that was
No,
scary.
I'm talking about the guy, the fat guy who took over the.
Yeah, no, he didn't have anything. It was just Bear.
Named
Oh,
Keeley.
okay.
Yeah, I know his name. What do you want?
Yeah, what's his name?
Named Keeley.
Van Keeley. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
That's true. I read
no,
Tales
he had
from
like
Jabba's
a
Palace
big
from the
leather
Expanded
hat
Universe.
thing that like went down his
It looked
big
dumb.
old man boobs.
That shit looked dumb.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was
Yeah.
like a fat Jewish
And he was
shepherd.
sad because the next
from a
day his
bad
little
Christmas
baby
play.
Rancor was supposed to be released, but
It's true.
killed him. So
The day after they probably.
that's why he was so
Tragic.
sad.
Killed the
stuff.
fuck out of him.
All right, well, I think now's a good time.
Game.
We've got to talk about TV for a little bit because it's happened. It's here. Have you watched it? Arrested Development now on Netflix streaming.
People need to
Have you
calm
watched
their
it?
tits about
All
that
right,
show.
so last we talked, I'm about to like crucify myself on air.
Probably. I know you're gonna say too.
When last we talked, I had not watched Arrested Development,
Right.
Me neither.
and I tried watching the show.
As did
I got about 5 episodes in, and I gave up.
You're checked out.
I don't like the characters. They're
They're reprehensible people.
horrible people, and I just don't care what
How
happens
could you
to them.
not love and adore those characters?
Yeah, for
Invest your
me,
feelings
the
in
first
them.
episode, I was the pilot was really difficult because one, I think David Cross is good in small doses.
Oh, he can get overkill real quick.
2, the main character, played by Jason Bateman or whatever. Michael, yeah. As soon as he got a new job, show over for me. Like I would have been like, "Yep, peace out, fuck you guys, I'm done." But I mean, I understand why people like it. There was a couple of funny lines, moments in there, but like his siblings are so infuriating because
They're reprehensible human
I hate
beings.
them. His
and he has
mom-
love for them for some.
I don't get
some
it. So
reason.
for me, like I just couldn't connect with the show.
It's because he's a good guy, darn it. And even though he hates his family,
He's a
he's
dumb
gonna,
shit.
My God, he's,
gonna
idealistic.
Take care of him. Yeah.
Okay. Have you watched the series at all?
I've watched about 15 episodes. of the
Okay.
first season.
Are you on board?
I watch it when I'm eating some cereal.
Okay.
And I turn it off.
Well, okay. I guess I'm the only fan in the room.
Just-
I watched it fairly religiously when it came out. After I shouldn't say when it came out. That's because I was episodes season 3 when it was on Fox. That's when I jumped on board. But I enjoyed the show quite a bit. It's coming back to Netflix is so strange because it's one of those things I talk about a lot. Comedy operates in cycles. It's cyclical in terms of pop culture. We came out of the Farrelly Brothers slapstick, which is the extension of the Three Stooges type comedy. We fell right out of that into the Judd Apatow style comedy, where it's very realistic characters with sometimes for popular
Shitty lives.
circumstances.
So it missed a
Right.
few beats and,
And then
came back.
here's the thing. Now this show, it came out before that type of comedy, that irreverent, cross-cutting thing was actually very applicable. And Family Guy came right back when it was hot, and now it's kind of passed over it again. So it's straddling. Its comedy beats are sort of straddling two different generations, and its pocket, its sweet spot, was the entire time when it wasn't on the air and making new episodes. And so culturally, it's without a time. Fortunately, I think the new writing is super brilliant. And
It's
he's
a show
writing.
out of
It's,
time.
it's a show out of time, but I would say that if you guys do happen to watch season 4, the way it was shot was logistical. They couldn't get everybody to show up all at once. But what ended up occurring was this semi-brilliant Pulp Fiction-esque character structure where they're all going to coalesce into one big clusterfuck. And I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out.
So you're saying, like, if you watch a show, this could be applicable to mostly anything, really. If you you have it season after season, back to back,
Mhm.
you don't notice the change so much. It's just gradual. But
Right.
If you cut time and then bring it back in a couple years later, you will notice the differences. It's like not seeing someone for a couple of years.
Yeah, and then maybe the same guy, they maybe have their life may not have changed at all, but suddenly you've changed, meaning our
Something
culture
is-
has changed.
Well, Futurama that happened to them.
Yeah.
That happened to Family Guy.
Mhm.
I thought Family Guy's first couple seasons were hilarious.
They
Yeah.
were. Well, because
Well, each character was completely expendable to the joke. There
But
was
when it,
no
yeah,
one. There was
when it
no
came
one.
back, it was all favorites and fuck Meg and
Yeah, rehashing the old jokes.
Right.
And again, where the characters were less expendable. I should say they were less expendable than they were to the joke before.
yeah. No, yeah, and so I mean, no knock to the lovers of the Arrested Development. I'm just not one of you.
All right, my goodness. Well, I'll keep that short then.
No, it's wax poetic.
I won't talk about the Game of Thrones gigantic plot twist. I won't. I'm
Listen,
not that far
listen,
along
that
yet.
shit happened in the mid '90s. Why are you all surprised right now? I don't fucking get it.
Because the books are that old.
The books are that old.
Well,
I don't understand.
everybody,
As the song says, winter has been coming for 16 fucking years. Like,
Did you see the thing on the Onion where Martin actually wrote in and did an article where he was
No.
like, "Geez, did I really write that? I mean, whew, that was harsh."
that was super harsh.
Like I sort of remember writing that, and it just didn't seem that bad.
He must have been on the pipe
Jeez,
weed or
guys.
something.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think we could talk a little bit about it. I think, for me at least, I
But you're
have
very-
not seen the episode.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the
I
episode.
haven't
What
seen
I'm
the
going to say, though, is that...
No spoiling.
Dude, spoilers, come on, really.
But
No,
what I'm not
No,
spoiling.
No, I would be so pissed if you spoiled that.
What I'm saying is that I saw all these reactions on Twitter,
Mhm.
and I'm like, come on, really? Like, people are losing
Did
their
you read
shit.
the books
I did read the books.
in the 90s?
No, recently, but it's been out forever. My
Don't be
point
such a
being,
hipster.
that I saw that and I'm like, oh, I know what must have happened.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh yeah, you're welcome. I've been keeping that inside since season 1. assholes.
So we owe you a debt of gratitude.
You owe
Really good.
every fan of the book a debt of gratitude for not spoiling that shit
Very good
after
of you.
the first season. Because when you see this episode, you will know what has been boiling inside. There's some shit coming up in season 4, and as I understand it, because I got a recap from one of my friends who's been watching season 3, I tend to wait until I can watch it all in one burst.
Yeah.
So much has happened in season 3, but there's so much left in the book, and there's only one episode. It
Yeah.
sounds like they're splitting it into season 4 now.
They are.
To give
Yep.
to give George more time because he just finished book 5.
Yeah, he's already on it.
Probably.
He got to
So
get on
happens
it.
in the
Drag your
movies.
heels a little bit for the guy.
But yeah, so
Big
it's
fan.
I'm kind of pumped to see what happens, but I'm definitely glad they finally got to it.
yeah.
And as they say in the college fraternities, blew the load. So
I
yeah,
took it.
All right.
In the face.
The last thing I'm going to mention about television from my perspective, my favorite TV show of the last few years has been Community, a show that was run by Dan Harmon. He sat out season 4 because of contractual litigation garbage. He's back for season 5. I'm very excited about having him back. It wasn't quite the same show with his absence. Are you guys fans of Community at all?
I never watched it.
Oh, man. I would love it. Wes is not a fan.
I have watched like 2 episodes.
It is the most meta, irreverent television show ever.
But Inspector Spacetime is from Community, right?
Correct.
Okay, I do think I would enjoy that show just off of watching that short and a couple episodes that I saw
Yes.
because Chevy Chase is
He's
My
your
man.
peep, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
him.
He's pretty evil on the show, actually.
Nice.
So he does
Evil
an
Chevy's
asshole
the best Chevy.
really, really well.
That's so good.
Doing Chevy Chase is really
Him and
fun.
Dan Aykroyd, man. Just, I love those guys.
Spies Like Us.
Oh,
I know.
classic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's enough about television. I mentioned that movie talk I was talking about War of the Worlds comes out pretty soon, but before I hit that,
War of the World.
Z?
or World War Z, I'm sorry. Yeah, World War Z. Yeah. Subtle, right? The box office for last weekend, I know it's a little late to the game since it was Saturday, but the big film that came out last film, I didn't even know Night Shyamalan directed After Earth. Did you guys
Yeah,
know
they
that?
kept it under wraps. You know
They
why?
kept it quiet.
Because he
he's-
bombs every movie.
And because
His
he's
films
M.
are
Night Shyamalan.
becoming worse and worse
Have you
and worse.
seen the chart?
He got like a 13
Yeah.
or something.
Where it's like it starts at 6 cents at the top on the top left, and then everything goes down. They
Yeah,
they
it's
show the titles,
incremental.
and they show the money, and it just goes straight line down.
And here's the thing: my favorite Shyamalan film is always
We're
going to be
talking about
Unbreakable.
After Earth.
Yeah, we're
Right.
talking about After Earth. My favorite is Unbreakable, but I can certainly see people saying
That's
Sixth
my
Sense is a
second.
better film.
That's my second.
I adore that film. I enjoyed Signs. I thought it was great.
Mhm.
Everything after that has been a precipitous drop in quality. He's trying to outsmart the audience to the point where it's pretentious.
But it was an accident. He even got the twist in 6
To the
Sense.
point where it's stupid. Like, the happening is trees killing people.
Oh,
I've never even seen it, so I'm not actually
you didn't even
spoiling.
get to
No one
spoil
cares. No one
I'm
cares.
pretty sure. The crappening can take a punch.
The crappening, yeah, it's true. Okay, well, in
see.
Signs, like as soon as they showed the alien, though, I was like, oh, it's Gumby. Like I didn't know. Oh, water, swing away. Oh! You know,
Yeah,
lady in the
it gets
water.
pretty saccharine. It's Spielberg-esque in its saccharine nature. But After Earth broke a record for Will Smith. He's opened at number 1 on Memorial Day weekend every year for the last 10 years.
Fuck that guy.
Well, apparently everybody agreed with you in that respect. It came in at number
And a
3,
stupid song.
$150 million film only grossed $27 million on its first weekend. A precipitous drop for him. So.
Would be
Yeah,
the bomb
the
that
back-
is. I would say
Here's
that
the top.
people are sick of Jaden, whatever his name, Smith, getting shoved down our throats.
Well,
Will, you're awesome, or you used to be.
Yeah.
Your wife is amazing.
oh hell no,
Yeah,
I like
shut up.
Pursuit of Happiness, but that's
But
never-
your kid is not a great actor.
no.
Quit shoving him down our throats.
Fast and Furious 6 held on to the number one position for the second week in a row, and it only pulled $35 million.
Dude, if
Now
Will
You
Smith
See
can't
Me
be-
surprisingly pulled in $29 million. Now You See Me. Did you guys even hear about this?
Yeah,
film?
actually,
did.
I didn't hear about the film. I heard about Jesse Eisenberg being a complete douche
Dick on the interviews.
butt fuck, and he was a real dick to the interviewer. And so, like, I saw that and I watched it. I was like, I'm not
Maybe
watching that
he
movie
thinks
now.
he's still Mark
But I'm surprised you weren't
Maybe.
excited about it. It's from the director of Clash of the Titans.
The original Clash of the Titans,
No, actually
which was
not.
the good one.
No, not the original. No, the Louis Leterrier, the guy who directed Clash of the Titans and the reboot Hulk film with
Oh, that
Ed
was,
Norton.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. After Earth came at number 3. Star Trek held strong at number 4, 16 million. It's total gross in the U.S. is 181 million, which is a very respectable number. It'll cross 200 million next week, probably.
Can't wait to buy
Did you
that.
see This Is the End got like a 90?
Oh, it's
And
doing
higher.
really, really well.
That's
I am
is that
moist
next
with
Wednesday or
anticipation.
Wednesday after next?
It's next Wednesday, the 12th.
Dude, we should make a whole mandate out of that one. I am super
Dude,
pumped
in
about
fact,
this film.
yeah, podcasting on Wednesday night should just be This Is the End.
Oh my god, I'll be fine with
Put
that.
away your recording devices, please.
Um,
no, it's
The,
it's
the
fine.
No,
biggest
it's-
the biggest bomb I've seen come out of any studio in a while, Hangover Part 3.
Oh, piece of shit.
Okay, I talked about this earlier. People didn't like Hangover Part 2 and it opened at 90 million, and people didn't like it. Hangover 3, with a projected budget of probably 150 million, I'm guessing, opened at around 30 million flat, has dropped to number 6 in its second week at 16 million. It doesn't even look like it's going to make its money back. So
Take that, Zach Galifianakis. You're
yeah.
not funny anymore.
Well, I love the guy, but that movie did not look funny.
The last movie I saw him in that he was actually funny was The Campaign.
It was fun. Yeah.
I liked that because I had no expectations because I hadn't seen any previews.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen any commercials, and I walked into that completely blind.
You know
Because
why you found it funny? Because they put all the funny parts in
And the commercial. He's exactly
But
right.
that's what I'm saying.
Fresh to you.
But I would like to say that at that point when I saw that I had made like a commitment to stop watching trailers, and I've kind of slacked off on it because of Man of Steel. But
Oh, I couldn't stop,
I've been
yeah.
very religious about not watching trailers if they're not in the theater,
Mhm.
and it has actually enhanced my movie going experience now because I look at Rotten
see
Tomatoes every Friday and I'm like, okay, what's coming out that I want to go see this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's getting
that's coming
slammed,
out,
right.
and then I go
Oh,
see it and I'm like, that was great, and everybody's like, oh, it was all in the trailer. Well, I didn't see the trailer. Prometheus is what made me do it.
Mhm.
So
I would say that the last couple of films in the top 10, The Great Gatsby doing really well, 130 million almost so far.
What about Mud?
Mud came in at number 10 at almost 1.5 million.
I can't recall the last time I saw ratings that high for a movie.
It's super high. Its Metacritic was like 97. It was
Oh, wait,
super,
what?
super
Mud?
high.
Yeah, it's Matthew McConaughey. It's
Oh.
He's already done.
like he's checked out. No, it's like down in the deep south, and two
Mhm.
boys are like two teenagers are trying to kill time during the summer. So they just go like rafting down a river, and they run into him hiding out like in this little island in the middle of like some swampland. But that's supposed to be really, really good. I don't. Has anyone seen it?
No, I've only seen trailers and stuff like that. It's sort of interesting to see McConaughey go back to being more of an indie actor, which the film's only pulled in probably 17 million, but it didn't cost that much to make.
I heard an interview with him on NPR and talking about like where he's trying to take his career and get out of romantic comedies.
Oh, good luck with that.
Well, did you see Bernie? with
See,
Jack
which one?
Black? Bernie with Jack Black
Nope.
plays a funeral director.
Hmm.
It's on Netflix. You need to watch that movie.
Okay, okay.
Honestly,
My favorite McConaughey film is a film he did called Frailty, directed by Bill Paxton.
that was a messed up movie, but I
Yeah.
did like that.
It's a trip, and it was Bill Paxton's directorial debut, I think. He's awesome in it, and McConaughey did a great job as well. I don't have the vitriol some people do for McConaughey, but I haven't seen but maybe one or two good movies ever in his filmography.
but what about Reign of Fire?
That's pretty terrible.
I love that movie.
The first half of that film.
Gerard Butler, Christian Bale.
Gerard Butler was in that one.
Yeah, he plays Christian Bale's friend,
Uh-huh.
and he gets roasted.
Yeah, that was Rob. Was it Rob Cohen directed that film? The guy did all the X-Files episodes. Yeah, he has a hard time finishing movies. His last half of all his films just goes off the rails.
I like
He also directed Elektra with
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner. Yeah, he's an odd director. But yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff I wanted to mention. World War Z getting middling reviews on Metacritic. I still
Really?
want to see it. Yeah, it's in the
Rotten
low,
Tomatoes
high
gave it
60s, low
pretty good.
70s. Very mixed reviews for it. The complaints, ironically enough, Sean, were that the ending is preposterous. Who wrote the ending?
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Lindelof.
God damn it! That guy ruins everything he touches.
Wait, so
Lindelof
just like,
is a curse upon the universe.
And he was actually brought in to doctor the script at the ending. They had to do reshoots based on his script doctoring. And people are saying that the protagonist takes such a logical leap in behavior that it almost ruins the film.
Can I just for a minute guys, I want to, no offense, okay, just you can listen, but it's not directed at you. This is for Hollywood. Listen, motherfuckers. Lindelof is not talented. And if you put him on any more fucking movies, I'm gonna drive down there, I'm gonna stick you in a sack, I'm gonna hit you with a bunch of fucking toasters until you shit blood. Thank you.
Okay.
what do you mean? Like they just brought in some guy to write the ending?
Yeah,
They do that to him all the time.
Yeah.
Guys, I got this. I'm
he's
just
the
gonna-
he's the
done.
pinch hitter. It's like
Work
we
here is
need a Babe Ruth to really knock the ending out of the park because we got too many switch hitters on the front
Right.
line. So.
But he's not a great pitch hitter.
No,
That's the problem. Is
he's
like
not.
he's got all this hype.
He's a concept guy. He's not a
Can you imagine
dialogue
how
guy.
big
even.
someone's ego would be. Who, like all they do is close up movies. Or like, no, you guys are in a pinch. I'll make this gold.
That's exactly what he does.
That's what they did to. So that's what he got brought in for on Prometheus.
Mhm.
To-
That's
Oh,
true.
and that-
Ridley
Doctor the script.
Scott pretty much had the whole thing done, and then Lindelof came in and doctored the script.
And I'm convinced that's where almost all the problems came
They
from.
didn't even give him permission. He just like snuck in the night before and he's like, scribble.
Maybe that's his thing. Like he's like a gremlin or whatever. But yeah,
Do not give him water at night.
I was telling a lot of my friends who have not read World War Z to not read the book, just enjoy the movie. Just go watch
Because it's not
the
the
movie.
same thing.
It is not the same thing at all. There's less than zero relationship to the book that Max Brooks wrote.
There's not even
And
a
that's
main
okay.
character in that book.
No, there's
It's a bunch of vignettes.
It's okay that there's no relationship. Just don't read the book and then go, I'm going to go watch the movie now. They're completely separate. All they did was they purchased his title.
Yep.
And they purchased the premise that one guy connected all these vignettes together, and then they threw everything away, and then kind of dumped that part out too, and obviously brought Lindelof
Man, they
into
should have a
shit
disclaimer
all
at the
over it.
beginning of it, like in Dead Rising, where it's like, this game has no relation to George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. It should be like that. This has no relation to the
No
book.
relation.
So that's.
And I was surprised. I didn't even catch this. World War Z is rated PG-13.
What?
Did you know?
How do you have a zombie movie? Now I'm ready to ask that question. Damn it, Lindelof.
you know
It's
how-
gonna be like I Am Legend kind of zombies then. Like,
Well, it actually looked like that from the preview because they were all running like in a big mass, which is not
because that was PG.
Necess-
does not have the
Necessarily
zombies,
violent,
because
yeah.
in World War Z, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear it, move away. In the book of World War Z, the zombies are the Night of the Living Dead zombies.
Mhm.
They're slow.
That's
They
not-
shuffle.
Well, in the
I'm
film,
just letting people know because
film
that's
they're doing
integral to the story.
they're doing both in the film.
It is integral to the story that they cannot run in the book. That
It's
is
just
how they
it
win the war.
numbers. Yeah.
If you have zombies that can run, you have now just taken away all of it. Like you can't take 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and cram it into Night of the Living Dead and expect it to work. Those are two completely different zombie subgenres.
And I think that's what they've done.
That's bullshit.
So what's wrong with that combination though? Like,
The way that they retrain all of the military, all of citizenry to fight back, is by creating an unending firing line, basically by having a twofold line where you have everyone lined up, they retrain everyone to take their time, shoot for the head, drop them when they want it, they swap in. So it becomes this very methodical approach to
It's
fighting
almost
zombies.
like colonial fighting where you line people up.
They do it. They
Yeah.
basically revert in time. They invent weapons that can handle it.
Yeah.
They basically revert a huge, like, go back to colonial times, like you're saying. and retake North
Because
America.
there's some part in the book where it's like, it's called like, I forget what I think it's called, but it's just an onslaught, a never-ending wave of zombies, and that's what the problem is.
That
is
was Yonkers.
Everyone's getting fatigued.
Right, because they originally they weren't trained for that, and so the zombies were just oncoming. It wasn't that they were fast; though they were just oncoming, and so they weren't trained for that. You know,
It's
blah,
like
blah,
castle
blah.
defense.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So they basically retrained for castle defense for slow zombies, and the movie just decided it was going to make it sexier or faster, or
That's what they're doing, exactly.
whatever. Which
Better,
is
faster.
Well, again, I said I haven't seen the film yet. I am going to see it. I'm looking
I
forward
am
to
too.
it.
Next weekend?
I think it's this coming Friday. Yeah. Early reviews out have been middling. It's more mixed reviews than positive, and a lot of negative reviews. They say
I'm a
that
zombie.
they say that. Yeah, me too. I've seen every zombie film. I've even
So-
seen some weird Italian C-grade zombie
Hells
films.
yeah.
Have you seen Dead Snow?
Oh
Yes.
no,
The
no,
Germans.
no.
Have you seen Pontypool?
No.
Have you ever seen the 1976 film Zombie, Italian film?
Yeah.
It makes me feel bad. I've
Dude.
watched it a bunch of times, and I just feel bad.
I
The woman gets a stick in the eye.
what top the head? What's your favorite zombie movie, Eric?
Off the top of my head,
Yeah,
you might not like this.
it's okay.
The Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead.
That's a great movie,
I
John.
love it.
I haven't seen enough to get half of
That's okay. What's your favorite one?
I don't know.
I've seen a bunch too.
Please never ever ask me
The
what
favorites?
my favorite is on anything.
I just give you a specific zombie genre.
I know.
What's the last one you watched that you enjoyed?
Again, this shows how many zombie movies.
Jesus,
I've seen.
John, give us
You're
something
terrible.
here.
Give us a fucking
I'm
name.
sorry. No.
Name a zombie film that exists.
Oh my god, you're killing me.
Night of the Living Dead.
All right, that is a great,
1967, George Romero,
All right.
black and white.
The
Go.
Zack Snyder remake of Dawn
I've
of the
never
Dead
seen it.
was fantastic.
I think it's the best song.
It was without doubt, I'd say in the top 3, maybe even top 2. Like
Yeah.
it vies back and forth with me between that and Shaun of the Dead, but it's really good.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen the remake, that was what I was leading into. Is if you haven't seen the remake of Dawn of the Dead,
I think it's an improvement over the original.
it is a huge improvement.
It doesn't have the subtext about
Pacing.
people being zombies.
No, yeah, the pacing,
But it's
the,
so much
the
faster.
action,
Oh,
like it's
God.
it is, and it's actually to me a scary movie because it's like there's such a hopelessness
Mhm.
that you
It's,
don't
it's,
get.
it's almost hopelessness to the point of farce. You have to laugh at how the plight of these characters.
It makes you feel like those characters, like
Yeah.
you're a little. You think that when you realize there is no hope, you're just going to go insane
Yeah, and just have fun while you're doing
and
it.
just
Like
do it. Yeah.
what was funny was it took me a while to remember, but the dad. You guys ever watch Modern Family?
Mhm.
The main dad from Modern Family was the guy in the mall who was the most villainous
Right.
of the bunch. I'm like, how funny, they got his comedy now.
Yeah.
But I really like that film. And I know Zack Snyder's filmography gets pretty spotty, but I really like
Well, like
that
we
film.
talked about a couple weeks ago, he does really well with other people's
Oh, he's so good
intellectual
with other
property.
people's content.
He's
yeah.
so good when you give him a concept you've already developed, he can make it better.
Don't,
Just
you
don't
watch
don't
Sucker
ask him
Punch?
for original stuff.
Oh, Lord.
I can't believe we got to get you on that.
Zombie flicks.
No, on the Dawn of the Dead remake.
It's good.
I
It's
have
really
it
good.
at my office in like my drawer next to my
It's
desk,
really
so I
good.
can watch it whenever I want. It's really good.
Yeah. And then the last thing I think we should bring up, for those of you guys who have been keeping up, and it's so pathetic that we're such nerds for the goddamn trailers of Superman. It looks so good.
Laser vision,
Ah.
Heat vision, whatever.
But you know, it has all the action punchy stuff of a Zack Snyder
The
film.
Zod stuff.
Oh, but it looks like there's all these great character moments too, which is something that I
So
thought was
good.
so lacking from the Star
So
Trek
good.
film. I hope they pace it right. I hope they do.
Hope.
I hope it's not going to be every 20 minutes a fight. I hope it's not that kind of movie.
To be honest, I have watched far too many trailers of this movie. I know that I shouldn't have. I think as long as the movie hits the 2-hour 30 mark, we're good.
And it needs to need that time. It really is
needs
going to
that
need
time.
it.
If it hits that time, I think we've got enough time for everything, and I think all the fights will probably be towards the middle to end.
I hope so.
Because
Oh,
I
hope
really
so.
want those stories. I mean, some of the early trailers that came out, I think at Comic Con,
Yeah, there wasn't any fighting.
when it was no fighting, it was just like, I'm scared, Mom. She's like, try and focus on my voice. Like
yeah.
going through his journey as a child.
Yeah.
I know that some people hate the origin story and they hate having to retell it. But when it's a new franchise, you have to retell it.
Not only do we need to retell it, this is a tale that is very, very important to tell right now because we're in such a sardonic, cynical time.
Mhm.
Having something pure and ideologically It's sincere. It's such a rarity in film right now.
This might be the first Superman I've actually looked up to if they pull it off.
If they pull it,
I'm just saying.
we shouldn't
I
presume
think
that. We shouldn't
encompasses
presume that.
the
I will say this:
expectations for
Hans Zimmer. That soundtrack is tasty.
It's,
I got that.
so you listen to.
I,
I was
I
going to
bought,
talk
the,
about that.
I bought my
same thing.
tickets and I got the free track and I downloaded
Oh,
it.
is that how
Gimme.
it works?
Yeah, you
The
get
score is
it.
beautiful.
It is incredible. I've already pre-purchased it, so the day June 11th when it goes live, it'll just download it.
The score is beautiful. As well as it's like I talked about
Haunting.
Unbreakable earlier. It's like I thought the score in that film was so moving and so engaging. It was one of the few times it's like I've got to have the score right now. And this film hit me the same way.
I'm glad they
Same way.
didn't go with John Williams.
He'd been too bombastic, too on the nose.
Too old.
This guy, too old, too classical.
Yeah, you can't let go.
This is really, really good. It's a really good score.
Yeah.
And that's a great segue into music. This last week, Queens of the Stone Age dropped their record Like Clockwork out. It's a 10-track record. I thought it was pretty darn impressive. Not the best of their pantheon, but I thought otherwise a really solid outing from an awesome hard rock band. It's the first time they've released on a non-major label. They did Matador, which is a label I'm sure you're familiar with.
Nope.
Independent label? You don't know Matador?
Nope.
Wow. Well, anyway.
I should point out that he is pointing at John
Yeah, I
Yeah.
apologize.
because Sean doesn't know anything about music.
He loves his hootie. And then, this is their debut record on Matador. It has guest stars of everybody, including Julian Casablancas from The Strokes. Elton John is on there. It has Jesse Hughes from Eagles of Death Metal. And it still sounds really, really consistent from top to bottom. It's a fantastic. If you don't, I think it's the best hard rock record you're going to get this year. If you don't like hard rock with a brain, if you want your hard rock really stupid, there's plenty of AC/DC records out there for you. This is something that's smart and it's challenging, it's weird, and it's really, really good. Do you guys have any other suggestions out there for music?
No.
I
Nope. Nothing's happening in the world of music.
I just discovered the Civil Wars this week.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there you go.
I'm on a discovery adventure.
You're doing it right,
Excellent,
man.
I'm just listening, and when I hear something cool on AirPlay at work, I go,
Oh.
"Hey, who is that?" And then they look at me like I'm dumb, and I'm like, "I brought donuts this morning. Be nice to me." I just discovered the Civil Wars, and I've been digging their discography on Spotify. So that's
Which
I'm
is
catching
like
up to the rest of you in the 21st century.
One album.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got
They're good.
two, or at least maybe one was a live
Yeah.
album.
Mm-hmm.
But it was
Because
it
that
was tasty.
band is no more.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah.
Damn it, I missed it.
Well, you really did miss it, but there's no the quality doesn't go away.
That's true. Oh yeah, I guess it's
They
good
did a
that I
movie
missed them
soundtrack.
because now I'm not
Just-
sad that they broke up because I'm a post fan.
But I'm confused about that because they just did a movie soundtrack called A Place at the Table,
Mm-hmm.
and
Money
I don't know
makes
if
the world
they
go
got
round.
back together, and yeah,
Money,
probably.
money, dude.
They're just like hating each other in the studio as they record.
Like I hate
these,
you so much. Let's record this, and I will love you.
Oh, before I forget, I'm gonna jump back to movie news just really quickly. Are you guys interested at all in seeing The Internship?
No.
No.
Yes.
I heard it was.
Yes, a little bit. You like Wedding Crashers?
I liked Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
But I think the hilarity is going to be because I'm the generation between the interns and Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
Oh. I heard. I saw The Watch recently.
What'd you
Yeah.
think?
I thought it was hilarious.
Yes.
It
Richard
not for a
Iowata
second took
steals it.
itself seriously, and there's aliens. So what more could you want?
It looked like
But,
fun.
Apparently, it had a problem that Spider-Man similarly experienced whenever Spider-Man was about to release, and I'm sure you know this, but the ending had a scene with the World Trade Center, and there was someone trying to fly a plane into it or something, and Spider-Man makes a web between the towers and catches the plane or what. And then 9/11 happened. They're like, oh shit, we have to redo the ending of this
Yeah.
movie. Well, not to the point where they had to redo any of the scenes, but I don't know if you recall.
This is The
a while
Watch, the
back,
film that came out last year?
Yeah. It has
I guess
Vaughn in
this
it.
thing
and
only
Stiller
happened
and
like a year ago.
Iowata.
There was this neighborhood watch guy who,
Oh, Shot the Kid.
yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
changed the title from the,
The
Neighborhood
movie was
Watch
called Neighborhood Watch, yeah.
to The Watch. I
So-
didn't hear about
and
that.
they had marketing material prepped
Yeah.
for Neighborhood Watch, but they had to make a quick change real quick, so they had to pull a bunch of TV
Yeah.
spots and trailers. So they didn't get the PR it should.
and
and then it sort of just ghosted by. And
It is.
no one saw it.
That's funny you bring that up because you heard about the PR the scheme with Superman, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
The tornado. There's a tornado in Superman. Like, we're going to edit that scene out, and they're like, no, we're not taking
leave
the
it.
scene out.
Leave the damn scene
You
in.
know what? Tornadoes happen. So,
Not only do tornadoes happen, we're in Oklahoma. We know they happen, and they kill people sometimes. We're not.
I mean, as
terrified of
tragic
them.
it is,
people are too damn
to
sensitive.
suddenly remove of what could be or could not be, we don't know, a
Yeah.
vital part of the story because you're afraid it might tread on some feelings. I'm sorry, but no, don't do that.
If it's important to be there, then leave
Right.
it.
Leave
If
it.
it wasn't important, then why'd you do it to begin
tell
with?
the fucking story.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
wasn't essential, it shouldn't have been in there.
Period.
So
Yeah.
tell the story. Let us enjoy the movie.
And the last thing I wanted to mention is, are you guys okay? Now this weekend, Joss Whedon put out a film. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, he did it all like in his house in his backyard, and it was like Much Ado About Nothing.
That's
or something.
exactly right.
Is it a
Yeah.
porno or?
No.
An
Methinks
adaptation.
thou art jokingeth with mine sword.
But that's all I was going to mention about movies. I wanted to get that little jab in there because I know we're
Sea
comic
runs
book
red.
geeks. But yeah, Whedon's
Well, yeah,
doing his
'cause,
own
you know,
version of Much
Heroes
Ado About
Con.
Nothing. And the internship looks like it's really going to underperform.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not getting good write-ups on Metacritic.
Oh.
It's not getting a lot of buzz in audiences. I think the whole, I'm talking about the curve of comedy. I think the Wedding Crashers wave of
Topping
comedy
out.
is topped out and it's gone. I don't know if you have the
It
same
should have
audience
happened
yet.
like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah, the reason I want to see it is because I feel like,
I would rather see
we're
a
in that
sequel to
in
Wedding
between.
Crashers than Hangover. I would have rather seen that.
oh, yeah. Ugh,
Because
yeah.
there's not only that, there's more room for a sequel in that
Mhm.
type of story. But that to each their own. But back to music, you guys listen to Creedence Clearwater Revival at all?
Yeah, it's classic.
Then John Fogerty put a record out this last week.
No.
So, yeah.
Okay. See, I could get behind that.
I know it's old man music. I don't care.
I'm an
such
old
a Creedence.
Yeah, I wasn't alive during the Vietnam War.
Neither was I. Neither was I. In my defense.
I was a sperm in my daddy's
I mean, I
balls.
like CCR, but
And Black Sabbath, I think, comes out with a record this
Yes.
week. I was a big Sabbath fan back in the day. It sounds atrocious.
Dude, Ozzy sounds atrocious.
And then that's really the problem. It literally
Young
sounds
Ozzy,
atrocious.
I could get behind. I prefer Dio.
I know, isn't it crazy?
But
And then
He's a
Ozzy-
better singer.
And then he came back and he was like, yeah, mumble mouth. Dude,
Mm.
I'm sorry, you don't actually sound like that. Could be lazy. I don't know. Maybe he does sound like that. I
Maybe
don't
he
know.
had a stroke.
It's gross. He
Well,
sounds
Ozzy,
terrible.
I mean, like I said, I hate to say that about the Sabbath, which is a big influence of my childhood. That record sucks. They're streaming it on iTunes right now. It is almost unlistenable.
You know, I really like what they're doing though with this whole streaming things nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you got that with the Hobbit soundtrack. You got that with Daft Punk, so people could make up their own minds. And apparently, it worked out for Daft Punk,
And it worked out really well.
even though no one else here but me liked it. It
I
worked out really
haven't
well.
listened to it enough to make a judgment call on it. I've
But,
only listened to a couple streams.
Yeah,
That's it.
and I mean, good
didn't
on Sabbath
impress
for at
me.
least streaming it.
what a
But-
refreshing counter, or at least a business model to the gaming industry. Generosity, as opposed to give us all the money.
It's
we can
it's
Well,
the
you can,
Steam
you can
model.
give it to me and give me an easy opportunity to buy it, or I'm
Yeah,
just going to
exactly.
steal it.
It's the Steam
Steam
model.
model.
It is
Yeah.
making it available anywhere. They get more money from Russia, which is the number one piracy capital of the world, by making games localized, by making them available to
Mhm.
people,
And making it easy.
and making it easy to get. If they would do that with music, iTunes did make music easier to get. I prefer Amazon nowadays because
It's cheaper.
it's cheaper and
Yeah.
you know I like having my cloud player like ready to rock and
Mhm.
all that good stuff. But
And I will give Amazon credit for
Yeah.
not being assholes about you can only play it on Amazon Player.
Yeah.
No, you can
you
play
can
it
download it where we give a
anywhere.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, God, it is so weird. Giving music away makes people want to buy it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to come back to
Oh,
this.
wait, did Nine Inch Nails just come out with a new track?
Okay. Okay, they did.
Okay.
I am super excited about it.
I
I
can't believe we
think.
almost missed that.
I know. Are you a fan?
I am an Nine Inch Nails, a huge Nine Inch Nails.
Me
fan.
too. I think the best record of their whole pantheon is The Fragile. I think there's never going to be a better record than that for that guy.
I think that was a great one.
I do know a guy who said that he who knows Trent Reznor, and he said that Trent viewed that record and gave it that title because he saw it as a failure. You have an interesting Nine Inch Nails story
Dude,
for us. So.
speaking of failure, I mean, it's weird that Trent would think that, but
Yeah.
my friend Laura, who lives in Columbia, she used to live in New Orleans, where Trent Reznor was living and recording at the time, and he was out walking his dogs, and one of his dogs took a shit in her lawn. She was outside, hanging out, and she didn't realize it was Trent Reznor. She didn't know who Trent Reznor was until after that happened, and I was like, "Did you pick up the dog shit? Did you keep the dog shit? This is Nine Inch Nails dog shit." And she was like, "No, I didn't at all." And so, abject failure, Laura.
He
You
stared
did
at it
not
and was
collect
like, "This
the
is what
dog
my
shit
life is."
from Trent Reznor. But apparently, he did pick it up, and he was polite about it.
Have you seen that Whitest Kids You Know skit where it's they're acting as Trent Reznor and like he's like just crying in front of a piano and then it cuts to him at like the Grammys and he's just holding like 8 of them and he's still crying.
Is he also
It's
crying
so
on a giant
brilliant.
pile of money?
yeah, basically.
What I will say for Trent Reznor, for all the naysayers who think that Trent Reznor's a piece of shit or a joke or whatever,
Thinks his life is a piece of
this dude has fought for more for you to get free music and to share music
and then kill yourself.
than anyone else
He's
out there. He gave
more-
away that album for free. He
He
told everyone to steal his last album.
How edgy.
And not only that, he even gave away the Pro Tools tracks of his
Mm-hmm.
actual recordings of Off the Fragile, The Slip, and With Teeth for people to take out there and remix and make their own
Do shit
songs
with
with.
it. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
artists don't do that shit.
No, he's impressive, and
So.
and he's got a reputation for being difficult to work with and very protective of the
Mm-hmm.
quality of his work, but the actual copywriting of it, he's giving it away.
Yeah, he is not a fan of the current copyright model. He doesn't do film
Sticking it to the
soundtracks
man.
if he's not in charge of it.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind
And
of
then
awesome.
he got himself an Oscar for
The girl with the dragon tattoo.
no, it's for
Wasn't that
the
it?
it was the one before that, the feature film before that.
Uh,
Brad Zuckerberg,
oh, the social network.
social network. Yeah, he got
yeah.
the Grammy for that or
Yeah.
Oscar for that. So best
Yeah,
soundtrack.
so I know you young kids will never understand or appreciate it, but you should thank Uncle Trent
yes.
for the freedom you now enjoy.
Here's an awesome Trent Reznor story, and it'll be the last I talk about the guy. There's this great story right before he revealed Year Zero to fans. He decided to do some viral marketing, and what he did was he put this isn't just legend. This is on their website for a while. Put flash drives in bathrooms on all the stadiums where they were playing shows. Did you hear this story?
I heard something like this. I'm not
Okay,
sure if I heard it
so
all.
if you found one of these flash drives under the sink or wherever he was hiding them, on the flash drive was a copy of the new record as well as a location written on a text document. And if you went to this location at this time and place, what they would do is they would gag you, cover your head in a hood, put you in the back of the van, try to indoctrinate you to this fake military program. No shit. And they would drag you into this room, and then after this entire indoctrination process was done, they pull the bag off your head, and the band would play a live show for you. Put you back in the van, bag and gag you, drive you all
you
back to
home.
the stadium, and leave you home.
That's incredible.
I'm like,
only Trent Reznor.
I could get away with that, right?
Well, yeah, dude. If you've watched his videos and you're a fan, you can't be pissed. If that
No,
happens
if
to
if you're a real fan, you know this was coming.
if you're like, all right,
or at least he didn't hit me with a
seriously,
dead rabbit or something.
They just didn't spray me with a bunch of like ink from a bank vault or like stick me
Oh,
in a
right,
van
right.
with Marilyn
Or
Manson.
permanently tattoo his name backwards on the back of your neck or something
Right.
off like that.
Maybe make out with Marilyn Manson. There's
No.
worse things that have happened.
But I thought that was such an awesome story.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and he can only get away with that because he's Trent Reznor. I mean,
Trent fucking Reznor.
Radiohead can do that to
Yeah.
a point, but I'm pretty sure if they got gagged and bagged and put in the back of a van, they would cry.
I would.
Yeah.
I'd probably soil myself. That's a defense mechanism, though.
I love Radiohead, but it's just different.
Shitting your pants is a defense mechanism. No one wants to fight.
No,
you
I don't
want
want to. I don't want to move that.
Take
guy.
your pants off, then shit, and no
Put
one will touch you. It's like if you think you're getting kidnapped, folks.
on Dookie Island.
If you're getting kidnapped, this is a get plugged tip. Get unplugged after you take your pants off and let it flow. Just it's a feces
That nervous
feces
hot
fight. That nervous hot foam. It's hot foam. Just let that out.
Oh,
no one's gonna
God.
mess with you.
All right.
Kidnappings drop drastically.
All right, that's all the music
Soil
news I
pants.
had. If you guys had any local music news you wanted to mention, have you seen any new shows lately?
Negative.
Me neither. I haven't been out a whole heck of a lot lately in terms of going to catch local music.
I've
The
been
summer
shut
season's
in.
picking up, and there's some great shows out there. Uncle Lucius, I listened to some of that stuff recently. It's top notch.
It is
man.
tasty.
Um,
It is tasty.
Kings of Leon are getting ready to put a new record out. Outside of that, if you like fake 70s rock and roll, they're your guys. And lastly, comic book news. You got some news for us, comic book wise.
Heroes Con is going on.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
all my favorite artists and writers. Oklahoma's own Brian Winkler, though, from Robot House Creative, is down there promoting his new comic Knuckleheads.
Is it a good show?
I believe the comic's awesome. Like, I've read a couple of the issues. He does have another show he's trying to promote called Bastard Road, which I got to see the pilot of. And
That's what I mean. Is
I think
Heroes
it's
Con a good show?
hilarious.
Heroes Con is a good show.
Oh yeah. Heroes Con is I think it's a great show if you're trying to kind of mingle with some of the other industry professionals.
Man, I probably
seems
should
like
be out
everyone
there
goes
then.
out there.
I need to go.
You should. It's totally. I feel like the smaller shows are where you need to go if you're a creator.
Yeah, I should. I always hit New York and I hit San Francisco every once in a while, but I need to get involved in smaller
See, but the
markets.
masses are there.
Yeah.
If you want to meet other creators and kind of get in there with that and have drinks and stuff and mingle, it's those
Have I ever
smaller
shown you
things.
my comic stuff at all?
No, we'll do that afterwards.
Yes, of course.
We'll get that in post.
Yeah.
But as far as comic news, I have been catching up. So I just played. I guess this will loop back to video games. That'll bring me here. I played Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Really well reviewed game.
Really well.
I really
game.
like that engine, that Mortal Kombat engine.
It was
I
a
really
lot of
liked it.
fun. I did enjoy it. My friend recommended it, and I played it. And spoiler alert: story's not that original. If you have ever read comics in your life and you read DC, I'm going to describe the storyline to you. It's a parallel world. Superman takes over. Then our heroes from our world got to go stop him.
Yeah, 'cause he even
They've
accidentally
done it
kills Lewis Lane.
Tons. They've done it tons, so many times.
Right.
So it's not a big thing. So I get over there and I'm like, the story, whatever. I've seen it a million times. But the gameplay was a lot of fun. But I was playing as Green Arrow. You have to play as almost every character, which is a little annoying. But then
During
in
the
free
story mode?
during the story mode.
So it's just like Mortal Kombat story mode, where you
Yeah,
have to
they're
switch
like,
characters at different
here's
points.
you're Batman, then you're the Flash, then you're
Right.
Wonder
I
Woman.
actually like that.
It was okay, except I didn't really like how some of the characters worked.
Sure.
Aquaman ended up being like a huge badass, which was
At least
crazy.
he is somewhere.
But Green Arrow was a lot of fun to play when I did it in the free mode, and so it got me thinking like, I kind of want to read some Green Arrow because I just finished the season 1. I just played this character.
You were loving the TV show.
I love the TV, but I don't know anything about this character. So I went back and I actually I went and got Mike Grell. Mike Grell did a run on Green Arrow where he kind of took
I'm
him in a
trying
more
to think. That was
mature
like
direction.
mid '90s, right?
Like late 80s, mid 90s, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a long run, and they called it the Longbow Hunters arc or whatever. And so I got in there, and he had moved from Star City, because DC used to do fictional cities, to Seattle,
Sure.
and took away Black Canary's powers. And it was very like urban and gritty. The artwork wasn't quite my taste, but it was a little old school. But
Early
it got me
'90s
hungry.
DC stuff looked pretty rough.
It was rough. The story was kind of cool, but I forgot how much they jumped in like over rationale or backstory. Sometimes they just made you assume,
Okay.
and so we have it good nowadays, folks.
We really do.
But I read through that, and then a little in between, and then I came up on Kevin Smith's arc Quiver from 2001, when he brought Oliver Queen back from the dead, and yeah, I will say that stood up. That was fantastic, and I think that is the mold that they have stuck with for who Oliver Queen is now. Really fantastic arc. If you are curious about Green Lantern, if you want to get your feet wet, I would highly recommend buying the Kevin Smith.
That was 2001.
It was either 99 or 2000.
Oh, okay. So yeah. All right.
And I could be wrong.
Was this post? This is after his Daredevil stuff, isn't it?
This is after Daredevil.
Okay.
So yeah, you give it a look if you're curious. It's around the time that Hal Jordan Green Lantern was the Spectre
Mhm.
after the Parallax event.
Oh, okay.
So it's worth checking out. But it definitely gave me a good sense of who Green Arrow was, why he mattered to the DC universe, why he mattered to continuity. At this point in time, like Wally West was the Flash, Barry Allen was still gone.
And he's a character that really warrants a show. He's a deep enough character that he's never been an A-lister. He's not one of the big three from DC.
Mhm.
But he's also kind of like Daredevil in the respect that sometimes that's where the best stories are happening.
Oh, hey.
Oh, I'm
hey
sorry.
Guys, I'm still here.
Do you not read comics, John?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh wow! What do you actually offer to this podcast?
The first hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, I got you. Guys, John's like our puppy. He plays around real hard for the first hour, then he falls asleep. He's pretty adorable, though. He's like a pug. His eyes kind of bug out when he gets excited.
He'll struggle if you try to get him fixed. Though.
He does. He loves those balls. Those tiny, tiny pup balls.
Licking them. Licking them all day.
Dude, honestly, I might if I could lick my balls.
You'd never leave home.
Well, I wouldn't need to. I wouldn't need to work either. At all. I would just lick my balls.
Set up a
We are
webcam.
coming out at over the hour and 40 minutes, so we've definitely we've had our druthers. We talked about some really nerdy shit. I had some great topics covered, probably longer than even we deserved, but I had
Next
a great
week.
time.
Wednesday.
We're going to get back into the cycle schedule hopefully next week when our brethren
Oh, I was
Wesley
gonna say
Dean.
Superman.
Oh, is that Wednesday or Friday?
That is Friday.
Oh, no.
12th
This is the end. This Wednesday.
This is the end is Wednesday, which we will see.
Dude, we should do that on Wednesday night and then go
Yeah.
do the
I thought we
podcast
just
on
did-
Thursday.
Yeah.
We did.
I love this
You
idea.
said that.
We should do that total thing I just mentioned.
Let's go back in time.
But
do
there's
the
no
thing
way
you
we can
said.
prove this actually was said. There's no way we have any
We'll
documented
get that in
evidence.
post too.
All right.
Now, yeah, so Wednesday night we won't be here because we're going to go see This Is the End, which promises to be the funniest movie we've ever seen in the summer.
Yeah.
And then Thursday
Probably
we'll
the year.
record.
Lots of laws.
And then Friday, of course, will be Man of Steel. And the following Wednesday we will probably have a Superman Jizz Fest.
Oh my god. That's
Circle
all
jerk.
next week?
That's all next week.
Oh my god.
And then you'll be playing Last of Us all weekend after
You're
Superman.
giving
Yeah.
so much money to the entertainment industry this next week. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, can somebody go, let's try and make an active
Shut up
effort
and
to
take my
find concession sales figures for some theaters. I want to see what they are.
I do
in
know
relation
some
to
guys that
Superman.
work in the concessions. I can probably find out. I can
That would
probably
be
find out.
that would be
bit.
awesome.
Because they don't make any money off the ticket sales.
No, they $0.
And those
off
lights
of
go blink, blink
tickets.
because people are making money somehow. So I wonder how much it's got to be. It's got to be at least equal.
I mean, there's got to be some obviously popcorn probably going to go up, but there's got to be some other stuff that
Yeah.
factors
You
in.
know, if that really is their bread and butter, you'd think they'd be a bit more tight on like, no, you can't bring your bag in. We have to search this because like that's how I usually get soda in.
That's
Yeah.
all I ever
I go
do.
with a bunch
But
of I'm
people-
like, ladies, put this in your
there
purse,
have been
this,
theaters
this,
that do that, and people stopped going to those theaters.
Oh yeah,
So
Quail did that.
it's-
They
it's
tried to
worth
check
the
my
risk.
bag. I was like, I'm not going here anymore.
Yeah, it's
I'm that
worth
guy.
it's worth letting people sneak in their own Skittles or whatever
Jeez, I was
for the
just
people
trying
that
to bring
won't.
an AR-15.
Like if you're on a
It's a
date,
big-
Right.
you're not going to bring in a bag. But
They kind of have a positive argument in their case.
I understand if you want to search someone who looks like he's got a bulging knapsack full of weapons. But
He's walking with one really straight leg.
right, but if the dude's walking in with like a
shaped
light
like
book
an
bag,
AK-47.
you know,
There's nothing in my pants.
Actually,
No.
walking like the Highlander, like how the hell do you walk a sword into your coat? Like you shove that in your pants? Because I didn't see it 3 seconds ago.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. Jesus.
Did you know that all the conferences next week, including Apple's,
Developers
conference.
conference.
it's all on the same day? Microsoft, Sony,
Okay, so
Apple, all
okay,
the same day.
okay, so this week I didn't even make serious show notes. I just had a few bullet points. We've
Me
got to,
neither.
like, as the news falls on our lap, we've got to take little notes just so we
I was
don't
just
miss
thinking
anything.
about that.
Apple's
Yeah.
Worldwide Developer Conference. is next week.
WWDC, E3, Nintendo's conference. This is the end. Superman and The Last of Us. Wes is going to fall over dead.
Yeah,
He's
he
going
is.
to.
He is.
I'm excited for
He's
some
gonna
Vita
have an
news.
aneurysm
We don't talk about
soon.
Vita on this show enough because I goddamn love it. No one owns that thing. But
Except your little
You may
boyfriend
buy me
who's
one.
On a cruise.
man,
with
there's some great
dolphins.
indie games on there. I might. Man, here's the
I'll
thing:
check.
if they do an update to it, if it comes out as an update next week with an HDMI output, I'll buy another Vita just to have it. I'm completely serious.
Wow.
I'm so that's like my favorite console.
You
of
know,
all
if you
time.
really want to talk about Vita, you could just buy me one.
That's two I'm buying now.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some great games on there. Thomas Was Alone is awesome. They just put what was
Thomas is Alone is a fantastic game.
it? Yes,
I played that on the desktop
it's on. It's a Steamware
on
game
Steam.
too.
It
Yeah.
is fantastic.
It's amazing.
That is one of the best platformers I have ever played, and the graphics are just so low key.
It's hilarious.
The art style is just it's blocks. It's just you're a shape.
Have you ever played Sound Shapes?
Yes. Yeah.
See, there's some great
Great.
games on there. They're
That
super
sounds like
small.
an Android game. We got
Sound Shapes and
triangle blocks.
Yeah. That's not far
Marshmallow.
from the truth. I think that the Vita is going to be the indie developers console for the next couple of years because it's not going to be Xbox One. PS4,
I think
don't know.
I think Apple. Can we make some outrageous Apple?
Oh, why not? We're at the end of the show. Let's be
so
assholes.
for the end of the show, John.
Predictions from Apple. Go.
They're gonna make a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly what they're going to say. It's
Okay.
going to be much more
That's a
boring
good
than
one.
that. What do
That's
you
a good
got?
one. They're going to make a flip iPhone.
Why?
No, wild predictions.
Because why?
Okay,
go
wild
forward when
predictions.
you can go
Okay, if you want to go,
backwards?
mine
Just like
mine
your
was much more
watch.
conventional. Some of the stuff I know they're going to say we're going to have 4K output on our MacBooks and our new upgraded. We're going to actually do an update on the MacBook Pro.
you can't see it. I'm making a jerking off motion. It's really
Yeah.
slow.
It's really slow. The whole. I don't think anything at WWC is going to be awesome. The wildest thing that can come out of WWC, I'm guessing that the iWatch, They want that to be a thing that's actually relevant. And it's
Are they going to
not.
make a quarter-size iPad instead of a mini, like an iPad quarter?
And they're going to make
A
it
dime- a
natively
dime pad?
landscape.
I can guarantee
just to
the
really
only
mix
I can
things
almost say I'll even put money on this. I'll even buy dinner if I'm wrong. The only thing they're going to talk about next week at the WWDC is going to be iOS update and OS 10 update. That's all they're going to talk
Yeah,
about.
they're not going to talk about rolling back to Final Cut Pro.
I'll tell you
to
what's
fix
rolling.
the fucking problem.
No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. That Final Cut Pro is going to be gimped forever now.
It's gone.
And-
we switched to have it already.
And you know what? I don't even think you think they'll announce the iRadio stuff,
Mm.
their new Pandora competitor,
Why would I compete with Spotify or Pandora?
because it's Apple. Remember,
It's music.
Well, they
It's
just
already
they had
there.
such success with their
Google's
social
starting
networking
up,
through iTunes. Remember what that was called?
Ping.
You remembered it?
Because it forces me to look at it every time.
No
It's still
one's
part of my
using
iTunes.
it.
I haven't updated to the new iTunes because I refuse because it's ugly and it doesn't make sense.
Oh. Well, no one's
I
anyway.
don't know
No
what
one's
you're
using
talking
Ping. iRadio looks like it's going to be doing the same thing.
Apple does a lot of that. So does Google. But
Yeah.
I think that the thing I would like to hear from WWDC is when the hell are the new Mac Pros coming out? And will they be not shitty like the current Mac Pros?
They didn't even have Thunderbolt on the last one, did they?
No.
It's ridiculous.
It's
A technology they own, and they're trying to make proprietary in all their work. They want the Mac Pro to go away. I have a buddy who's an audio engineer who wanted to buy a Mac Pro. He's like, no, I just need to get a Mini that's souped up.
Mhm.
I think I wouldn't even be surprised if next week they declare they're phasing out the Mac Pro completely. I wouldn't even be surprised.
I have a friend that's going to the WWDC,
Mhm.
W2DC. All right, we're gonna call it W2DC.
W-
Dub2.
Dub 2.
We're gonna call it Dub2 now. I have a friend that I work with who's our director of
It's just
interactive.
called
He's
the
he's going to the tomorrow or whatever this week. He's already in there. I was at his house watching a Thunder game. Give me some props.
I have to say, you actually watched the
Give me
sports
some
game.
props. I wasn't there to actually watch.
Was
Thunder
it the
game.
Grizzlies game?
I don't know.
You didn't know they're the team?
Maybe.
Props removed. Go ahead.
I know that Nick
Why are
Collison
there
got some
still
play
games?
time and Derek Fisher got some play time.
They are
And Derek
players.
Fisher brought it when he got off the bench and helped
does
it
that.
win. What I will say was we were over there, and one of his friends was visiting from California who works for Apple
Right.
as a developer, and he was saying that he thinks they're because they were going to announce an American-made Apple computer this year.
Mhm.
He thinks that's the Mac Pro. Now,
That's interesting.
whether or not that's true, don't know. It may be all speculation, maybe internal rumors.
Who cares? Like, what? Steve Jobs is rolling over in his grave. There is no innovation left.
Well,
So an iteration on something that they should have iterated 2 years ago.
right. The only reason that I'm excited is because
I'm
I need a
kinda
machine
surprised.
I need a more souped up machine right now. And
Something,
I can't go any
something you can
higher.
actually upgrade instead of having to buy it
Right.
completely
I am
over
I
and
am
over.
I am topped out on the iMac I've got at work. I can't go any higher.
Mm-hmm.
And if we buy a Mac Pro, like they're so problematic right now, they like if they don't overhaul and give us more capacity, like we have nowhere to go. So our machines are falling behind. Like we're gonna have to switch to PCs soon if they don't do something.
That's the least. This is going to be the least sexy Apple conference ever.
Right. The last decade hasn't been about like what processor can we run now. It's
Yeah.
it's about like
Changing your lifestyle.
It's been about
this
the
new
iPhone.
device, like whatever this new device is. It's
The
gonna announce
iPad.
and
They're
change
going to
the
announce
way
new
we
iPhone
Like,
5S. That's going to
I
happen.
think,
Yeah.
I think Google kind of took that over with the Google Glasses. Like
The Google Glasses
those are sexy.
That is sexy. It's something interesting. Does iWatch
Is that
even give you
augmented
a-
reality? Is that what that is?
No, it's just
I
a
haven't heard
camera.
that. Oh,
It's an elaborate camera. But
I mean, there's a
I've
little
got a
heads-up
GoPro.
display that sits.
you have a GoPro?
I have a GoPro.
Use it very much?
No. That's what I'm saying.
You
I
should
have a
just
GoPro.
mount it to your dick and just go through life and see how it plays out.
Actually, I thought about doing a web series called The Go No, and it was using the GoPro for things you shouldn't use it for, like because it's a
you put it on your
GoPro's-
bike. You put it on
It's
your
like an
skateboard.
affordable outdoor HD camera that shoots in 1080.
And it's really durable.
Oh, is it that tiny little?
Yeah, it's a tiny little.
Yeah,
And
you see them in
outdoor
bike shops. You
enthusiasts
see
have
them in
it.
Target.
Well, they
places
came
like
out
that.
with the Hero 3, which is like their newest, sexiest one. And one of my friends, I bought one, and one of our friends does longboarding, and we loaned it to him to get some great footage, and he did get some great stuff. We were thinking about doing a web series called Go No, where we like put it on, and we like go into the office and like just doing boring stuff like working on the computer or taking a dump, or and you'd see like
That might not be
walk
very
in and
boring.
kind of.
Might be traumatizing.
It's just the complete opposite, like ordering food off like texted off this menu, like
Or sitting in the drive-thru
Tracking
at
ahead.
McDonald's.
right, just like the motions you would get, and like we could hit it in slow mo and like bring it back in and ramp it in and out.
But as crazy as that sounds, some of the shit that I hear my kids, my students who are in the 11 to 13 to 14-year-old range, they know YouTube celebrities better than they know Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's a fact.
It is a fact. I said, you guys ever seen, Predator or Terminator? And they have no idea what I was talking about. But when I said, you guys ever heard of PewDiePie? And like PewDiePie, the YouTube guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly. He has a great web series about him playing video games. Like, you're watching people play video games? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's like Toboscus and Ray William Johnson
Mhm.
and all these people that just have these web presences that I couldn't have imagined.
So you're no go or
Yeah.
Go Pro or Pro
on
no.
Google Glass.
Could
Yeah, no.
potentially have
It could.
a
I could be I could be YouTube famous.
Yeah.
Although with Vine, I'm following people on Vine that are Vine famous. I guess is the new meme.
God.
I gotta say this: if you can make a 6-second Vine that makes me laugh, I will applaud
Do you follow
because
Lil
I can't do
Sasso?
it. I do.
Spitting lemons guy.
He has some funny stuff. He really does have some funny stuff, and then he has some stupid stuff like that Corey arc, which makes no sense.
Yeah. He tries to
Get
goes too
random.
far.
He
Tries
gets
too
really
hard.
stupid, but he has like
Not to say he's gold. But that
the
would
one
be-
in Ottawa, like
Yeah.
oh, I'm Ottawa. Look, it's a sign. Look, it's a hotel. Look, fuck you. Hey, he's Canadian, so it's kind of funny. But Will Sasso's got some good ones. Marlo Meekins, who is a character artist on the revived Ren and Stimpy, has a great one. She's hilarious. She actually almost made me throw up last night or the night before when I was watching.
Laughing
It.
that hard?
No, she's like, "Who wants a kiss?" And she's this redhead, so she's kind of doing the sexy face. And she zooms her camera in and opens up her teeth, and they're smeared with Nutella. And it looks like poop, and you're like, you're just not expecting it. Josh, if you are into Vine, I'll give you a piece of it. Josh Darnett is the funniest guy on Vine.
Okay.
Period, hands down. Like
Yeah.
I
he's-
think that's great
'Cause
because
you
I don't
know.
follow anybody on Vine. That's a
Vine's
game.
on Android now.
it is. There was actually a
Love it.
huge theme or a meme or whatever where it was like, "Welcome to Vine, Android," but they were making like
Remember when
silly ones.
Instagram came to Android and the whole Mac community was like, these uncool kids are joining our cool exclusive app.
Oh,
It's happening again with Vine.
You know, do you remember when Facebook was just for colleges?
I do remember that actually.
Yeah, I missed that.
One of my students said, "Mr. Osborne, are you on Instagram?" I said, "No, it does everything Facebook does, and I barely use it right now." And they said, "Well, why do you use Facebook?" I said, "Well, why do I need to use Instagram?" He goes, "Well, Facebook's where all the old people are."
Thank God.
Yeah, we've
I'll
had this
stay there.
conversation.
I'll
Yeah.
stay there. You youngins can go off to the Insta.
Well, this
twerk
was it Snapchat? You guys seen that?
yeah, I don't
Where the
know
kids are
what
just
it
taking
is.
pictures of their wieners and showing them to each other for 30 seconds. That's all it
And
is.
deletes itself.
Hey, Mom, I got Snapchat. What's that for?
That's
oh,
my wiener.
friends,
Never
it's
you
just-
mind.
If it's only online for 30
Never
seconds.
you mind, mother. I titled
Where's
this one
my hot
"Spear of the
pocket?"
Devil."
Oh, God.
Thor's
If you
hammer.
want to see some 13-year-old boobs, you get Snapchat.
No, okay, so
I'm just warning you.
Where do
FYI,
you get that
don't go to
most?
Snapchat.
Don't go to Snapchat.
Don't go to Snapchat.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go to
Ugh.
jail, don't go to Snapchat.
Oh, God, no kidding. And on that note, don't go to jail will be the rounding argument or the rounding statement for our evening. And I think close us out, John. Please take us out of this hole.
Get us
Yeah.
out of this. We've dug it.
Put like a black rag over your Xbox Connect. We've learned that today. John doesn't know any zombie movies, and Sean's got a hard on for Superman. I think we learned a lot today. Yeah.
It's pretty bonerific.
Yeah.
Next
Hopefully-
week's going to
Is
be
Wes
pretty
back
hard.
next week?
I think so.
I hope he has
I
a
can't-
sunburn. I'm
he-
gonna slap him a lot. No, he's not gonna have seen his son. He's gonna stay in his cabin and play PSP.
And drink.
Yeah.
Lots of drinking.
I guarantee the guy put as
I
many
can't
Baines movies on that Vita as he could fit. I bet you he bought another memory card just so he could get more TV shows. So more How I Met Your Mother on his Vita.
Either that or he got seasick and he's been puking the whole time.
Oh, that'd be horrible. Throws up on the dolphins. They eat it. Oh.
And then he gets dolphin herpes from the throw up
We've
eating
gone full
dolphins.
circle. This is brilliant. Okay, we have to stop right now.
Yes. Stop.
Alright.
And then in closing, Oklahoma is one of the few states where a tornado can actually carry a cow across the highway and set it on the other side, and it will just be fine.
The more you know. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. At the end of every episode, we like to close with a local musical act, someone Oklahoma City or just Oklahoma based. This episode is no different, but it is a little more self-indulgent. Wes and I used to play in a band a few years ago, and we had a lot of fun recording then, as we do now. This is a track called Blood Meridian from the debut record of our band Maya Proxy. The track is called Blood Meridian, and I hope you enjoy it. Oh, he and I both sing on it, so that's why I picked it. Take care.